On the hood, I want to be that song.
And so many more.
Plus, a Boots Boot Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Goldfield Trading Post, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and Richard Wood Home Furnishings.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total and uncertified vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Hi, it's the Herd. Own a business? Bumpy ride. Pandemic to inflation. You could use a break. Your business has 5 or more employees and managed to survive COVID. You could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. They have a team of tax attorneys, a highly trained group in this little-known payroll tax refund program. Already returned $1 billion to businesses. They can help you too. They do the work, no charge up front. Simply share a percentage of the cash they get for you. And businesses of all types qualify, including nonprofits, those that had increases in sales, and those that took PPP. Find out if your business qualifies. Go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund's only available for a limited amount of time. Don't miss out. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Kenny and Jared here from Bell Brothers, and people always ask us, why does a heating and air conditioning company also sell replacement windows?
Simple. We're all about lowering your energy bills and keeping your home comfortable. And for a lot of homes in the area, old, outdated windows are a major problem.
If your home is more than 10 years old, you should at least get your windows inspected.
Chances are high that new, ultra-efficient windows from Bell Brothers will make a world of difference, both in energy bills and the comfort of your home.
And right now, when you buy 8 or more windows, we'll give you 50% off any sliding glass door or a free pet door.
So call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
It's Truck Month at Maida Chevy with exclusive all-in-stock pricing on a huge selection of new 2022 and 23 half-ton Silverados in stock, ready to go. See all the savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
331.23.
KHTK AMHE1 Sacramento, KYMXHD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that former Niners quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo is returning with head coach Josh McDaniels, who he played for in New England when McDaniels was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. As of right now, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable, but he told Mark Spears of Anscape on Saturday that he hopes to play on Monday. Coverage of the game starts with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. Now it's time for Deuce and Mo.
Live from Sacramento.
It's Deuce and Mo
on Sactown Sports.
Live. Oh, did you hear that my voice a little bit?
Ew, is there phlegm? And now there's phlegm in my. Oh, what's happening?
No, my headphones are so loud and they won't turn down. Oh, wrong button.
Oh.
Hey, welcome in. Happy Monday. Morgan, Reagan, the Kings are on fire.
Fire?
They are on absolute fire. They got a big game tonight against the Bucks, but it's chaos right now. We have NFL free agency that's technically started today. The 49ers just made a monster move, Morgan. Javon Hargrave landed with the 49ers.
Just wild.
Jimmy G, it's over. He's going to the Las Vegas Raiders. He has agreed to a new deal there. Are you kidding me? Oh, and by the way, it's Bruce Mason, Morgan Reagan, and Chris Watkins right here. How you doing, Chris?
Good, man. How y'all doing? Got that little that little breaking news right there kind of threw me off the flow, but doing good.
Which
feeling
one?
like we're right in the flow of things. The Jimmy G news. It was just I was just in the flow of closing up my show, and then all of a sudden I get an Adam Schefter notification on my phone saying that Jimmy's signing with the Raiders. Just kind of threw me off a little, but we're in the season. 'Tis the season for these kind of things to happen. So no, I'm feeling good.
Dude, how could you not feel good right now, right? With everything going on, the fact that we've got meaningful NBA games in March.
That.
Yup.
Hell, today I was listening to Simmons and Russillo. They led their podcast today talking about the Kings and could they come out of the West? What is happening? And then you've got NFL free agency going on. This show's going to be insane. These are my favorite shows when there's constant information coming in left and right.
God.
We get to react. I'm feeling good on a Monday.
Yeah, you are. It's a little different than usual.
What is that supposed to mean?
You just seem a little more energy. It's funny when you know what it is, Chris Watkins. Whenever there's a full day off, which has happened in the last month, one other time, Deuce is a happy human being. I just wish you had a few more days off sometimes.
Who would have figured that rest is beneficial for someone's mental health? Who would have guessed?
Who would have thought?
Also, we are acknowledging that Chris sounds weird right now, right?
Is it me who sounds weird?
It appears like we're
pretty
having
sure
the same
y'all
problem
who
we did
sounds
last time, or for some reason we've got two of our. It's like duplicating something, so we have to go and restart the stream at some point.
Oh, that's awesome!
The entire stream, you're saying?
Yeah, love that.
Even if Chris is not with us today, can we just get through this hour and just keep it rolling?
We can, but we won't. It's gonna when we have guests on.
This is okay.
So we have to put a new YouTube link.
No, no. I want to complain.
Okay, let's complain real fast.
Wait, we're gonna complain. Yeah.
Let's complain.
First, let's just complain.
Is that okay with you, Chris Watkins? Is that okay with you?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I love complaining.
Okay,
let's
great.
complain together.
Okay, so just so I don't rip apart this entire place.
Yeah.
So I am so confused because
Oh no! When she does that confusing, she's really upset.
There's like 100 people that work at this place, I think. Maybe 150 sometimes it feels like compared to like our 2-person podcast. And we somehow get the audio, the lighting, the video, everything correct on our end. And it's not you guys, it's just a collaborative effort of all of us, even us. Like we should have checked this before going on. Like I'm just
Don't
delegating all the things. I'm trying to be nice, but truly I'm so confused how a giant station with millions of dollars cannot figure this out. I'm getting hot.
Okay. So is it my turn now?
Yes.
All right. It is 2023. This is more than a radio station. So let's dial in everything else, please. That's all we ask. Let's dial out everything else.
How am I going to get happy again?
The whole point is we'll have to put out some new links later because we're going to have to restart this at some point. But the reality is you should still feel good. I'm going to bring the energy back up, Morgan.
Bring it back.
The
I need
Kings
it.
have the best record out of the All-Star break. They're 8-1. They play the team with the best record in the NBA tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is questionable for the game. We'll see if he ends up playing because the Bucks played again tomorrow night against the Suns. Let's start with what we just witnessed, though. The big win over the Suns.
That made me happy.
The Kings have 40 wins in a season. Chris Watkins, why do you think that's so significant?
Well, it is just factually significant because they haven't done that since since they've been in the playoffs. Since this, I keep saying, like, people talk a lot about the playoff drought, but we're also in a winning season drought, which is just the same amount of time. This team has not been over 500 since the last time they made the playoffs. So 40 wins is obviously a huge milestone, but for them to actually just have a winning team is massive, something we haven't seen in just the same amount of time as the playoff drought.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that make me very happy. Obviously, there's a lot of things that pissed me off. There's a lot of things that make me happy. And when the Kings got that 40th win on Saturday, it was a different type of emotion that came over me. And I really don't give a damn if that sounds dramatic to anyone. I don't care. I'm going to ride every wave of enjoyable moments that I have with this team because of all the depressing, dark moments that we have covered, that we have talked about over the years. And that 40th win and what it represented was just something that we all truly deserve as sports fans, as people that have consumed hours and hours of this type of basketball. And now we are getting rewarded.
And the other thing with it too is like we're talking about a situation in which it's unlike any other place in the NBA, probably sports. So like when people poke fun at the Kings, they're like, you get excited about 40 wins. It's like, yes, because this is, Chris, it's only the 8th time that's ever happened in 39 years. It's insane to think about that.
Yeah, no, it's just absurd. And like Morgan said, like I'm trying to just take everything in, right? Like it's it's been so long. We've covered so many bad teams and bad seasons that I again, like you just got to take these games and or just the rest of the season and just enjoy it. Like I think a big reason why maybe it's starting to feel a little bit different too is just like we're really a huge question, even with all of the wins so far this season, has been, can they beat these elite teams? And now we're seeing them on a night-to-night basis go against playoff teams and really put together. I mean, they're getting the results, but honestly, they're putting together really good performances as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things that we're seeing is that this isn't a fluky thing where the Kings are in the Western Conference standings. And there's been so many years where we've been worried about this organization trying to figure out what pieces you can grab to get this team into a postseason, not for sustainable success, but just to get into the postseason, which was never the right answer. But I never had the money or the power to be in charge and tell everyone, no, this isn't the right way to go about things. You got to develop a team. So then you have this whole scenario this season where Mike Brown comes in. He's about developing. He's about creating a culture, setting a standard. And I told everyone before the season, oh, man, developing takes growth and time. So just like be patient still, Kings fans. What? He's magical. Whatever he did to defeat needing more time to develop these guys into what they are right now in March is absolutely insane, guys. We do not see this, and that's why national people are talking about it as well.
Yeah, these type of turnarounds don't happen all the time in the NBA.
No.
They just don't. It takes time, especially when you got a new coach, like you just said, putting together new pieces. They've taken a huge jump, and it seems like even from the starters that they have like a legit chemistry together, like they've been playing together for a long time. I think that helps when you have all these players who are skilled, who could shoot it, who could pass it, who don't play selfish basketball.
Yeah.
This team's got a little something right now. And I think even people around the league are starting to go, okay, well, it's a weird year in the West. All the other teams in the West are flawed. Should we be taking a closer look at Sacramento? And here we are today. You got Simmons and Rusilla. You got Kendrick Perkins. It seems like Sacramento is at the center of the NBA universe right now when it comes to teams. They've got the best record coming out of the All-Star break. It's not fluky anymore.
Yeah, no, it's legit. And like, you know, there's so many signs that it's legit. The offense, all of it, like it's, again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it's just, it is incredible that we are sitting where we are right now. And yeah, I mean, that Simmons Russillo podcast really was the first time that I have allowed myself to legitimately think, wow, like what if everybody really is sliding and things really are just perfectly aligning for the Kings to make a run that we don't expect? And whether that be finals or conference finals is here or there, but you know, it's really, it's
think
not
about what you just said, Chris. Think about what you just said.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And I actually booked a trip for June, and now I'm like, it's just a weekend trip. It's easily, I could cancel it, no problem. But it's just more shocking that I'm even thinking like, ooh, do I need to open up June now?
Wild.
Do I have to open up June now?
We've never
I'm
had
not
that.
there yet. I am not there yet.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. there yet.
Okay.
And I'm also
But I
like,
allowed myself to think it for just a
Yeah.
20 seconds, and I haven't it has not even been close to being a thought at all. So the fact that I even allowed myself to go there, to me, it was a fun place to be. But just the fact that I even went there, I think speaks a lot.
dude, it's wild. It's wild. We got to talk more about this Suns game too. Because we saw some crazy things. We saw Fox and Sabonis not score 20. Keegan went scoreless. Kevin Huerter had 9 points, and the Kings walked away with a win. How they were able to do that? And do they have a new secret weapon coming off the bench? Huh?
Oh.
Don't be talking about KD. We got KE.
Okay.
We got so much to get to. Plus, we'll talk some NFL free agency. The Niners make a splash. It's Deuce and Mo alongside Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. What's up, chat? How we doing in the chat? Hit the thumbs up if you're down. Make sure you're subscribed. Let's get to the poll question, too. Did the Kings have a shot at the conference finals? Oh, hell yes. Nope, not this year. Anything's possible. 49% of people say, oh, hell yes.
Shout out. I also think Verlaud fixed the audio issue there in the middle of
Dude,
that.
yeah. You know the Suns broadcast called Kessler Edwards, Jeffler Edwards?
What? That's so confusing.
So we got Kyle, was it Kyle Lyles? No,
Kevin
it
Lyles.
was Kevin Lyles.
Okay, Kyle Lyles would be a hard name to say. Kyle Lyles.
Kyle Lyles.
Yeah, Kevin
That's called
Lyles. Terrence Mitchell something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very confusing because even whenever Deuce and I are calling G League games, our number one thing, get names right? Like it's G League. You just just do it for their family. And then you have these people on the biggest stage who, again, get to watch the same players, like G League, that's forever turnover. And then this league, you get to watch these same players all the time and you still can't get it right?
Yeah.
But you really see
that's
Kessler
super
Edwards all the time, though?
It doesn't matter.
I
You
know it
should
doesn't matter.
know.
You're paid to be an announcer. You know the game.
That's my thing.
Something an old announcer here would have done, and it's just like you have to do your prep.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Clutch points. The NBA's leader is De'Aaron Fox. He gives it up to Malik Monk. Driving a kick. Kessler Edwards for three. He's got the triple. The unexpected three-point shot from Kessler Edwards. He's knocked down his second of the ball game. The Kings have a 6-point lead. 38 seconds to go. 124-118.
Of course. If I would have told you before Kings Suns, Morgan Reagan, Chris Watkins, that, hey, De'Aaron and Domantas Sabonis would score under 20, Booker would do his thing, and it was Kessler Edwards coming in and playing some significant minutes. Oh, by the way, Keegan Murray had 0 points. You would have said the Suns would have blown out the Kings, but that wasn't the case. The Kings go on the road, get a huge win over the Suns, a team that's trying to chase them down in the NBA's Western Conference. And how about Kessler Edwards, a guy the Kings got around the trade deadline? People were, that's all the Kings did is get Kessler Edwards? What? What a joke. Monty McScared. And it's like,
oh, is that
here
what
we are
said?
all of a sudden.
That was actually a recording earlier.
That was.
Got it.
Pretty decent.
All of a sudden, Chris Watkins, Morgan Reagan, talking about Kessler Edwards having a big game. And to be honest, I look, I'm not expecting this type of like offensive output from him. But dude, he came in and defended, and I don't think his defense was fluky at all. He came in, he was physical, he got rebounds, he defended Devin Booker, made life more challenging. Morgan, I'll start with you. Like, what jumped out to you about Kessler?
I mean, I said this already, and I talked about just his length, you guys, his wingspan, and just what it adds. Especially, he's the type of body you want in today's modern day NBA, right? You look at the way that not only he gets his hands in passing lanes, he can contest shots, he can block shots, but he also has that lateral movement, right? Like, it's something that you can depend on him to be switched on someone and still try and get things done and still get his hands in the passing lane. I think that was something that was that gave me a lot of hope into Mike Brown finding more time for him in the rotation is being like, oh, what you do defensively is what we've been needing, is what we want. Now, offensively, he adds more than what obviously KZ Okpala could add, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing
I think you honestly could have added more than KZ Okpala offensively, but that's no disrespect.
Wait, what'd you say?
You could have added more than KZ Okpala.
Hey.
No disrespect.
That's no disrespect.
Yeah, but
none whatsoever.
No
I just want to.
No, that's mean. And it is. I don't like that. And
it was a joke.
And I'm not okay with that joke because Casey's really great. But it is kind of true. And you look at Kessler Edwards not only knocking down some shots, but hitting a big three late in that game. Chris, I'm excited about what he can add to this squad.
Yeah, like you said, the defense is kind of not expected because, I don't think anyone is expected to really. There is a clear pre and post Kessler Edwards entering the game in terms of Devin Booker's performance. I didn't expect that, but you knew he's going to bring some level of defensive intensity and just hustle in general. I think I tracked he had 5 rebounds just in that first quarter. Like, he was everywhere when he first came in there. But the offense to me was the thing that I just was not anticipating. That Euro step, left-handed, sky, that I don't know if he can replicate that routinely, but even the fact that he had that in his bag, I was impressed by that. And then, who would have thought that the dagger of the game would come from Kessler Edwards, just to have even the confidence to pull that with no hesitation. It was incredible to see. Really, this is a guy who hasn't gotten a lot of minutes at all this season, both in Brooklyn and here. And for him to just step into that game and step up the way he did, I said that he's probably the only person outside of the rotation or on the fringe of the rotation that could potentially solidify something heading into playoffs. And last night or Saturday was a perfect example of something that he could bring to a playoff series, and a reason why I would hopefully like to see him at least get a little bit of run in a potential playoff series.
Yeah, and it's interesting just kind of his career path because he's with Brooklyn, and there were some flashes. I was actually going back and reading some articles about him from January last year, where they're like, hey, I think the Nets found something here in Kessler Edwards, and he started some games when Durant was out. And I remember seeing some games where he showed some of these flashes. And then this year he just didn't play for whatever reason. And I think the biggest thing with him is, can he, knock down the perimeter shot on a consistent basis? I think sometimes when he does too much ball handling wise, not great, but he's also he's 22 years old. It's not like this guy's 27's been around on every other team, been in the G League. He's a young player still.
Yeah, he's a young player. And Chris, I remember when the Kings, or when it was announced, whatever, that they made a trade for Kessler Edwards, and I didn't know much about Kessler Edwards at all. I've heard his name and everything, and I went straight to YouTube to go watch the highlights, like we do with a lot of draft prospects, at least, to try and understand what their game probably is going to be or what it is. But at least we had highlights with him against other NBA talent. Right. I was very impressed on both ends of the floor, even in those highlights, right? He just looks like, as a young player, that he's confident in himself. He's a high IQ guy, and talk about buying in this quick, 1 month into being with the Kings roster, understanding what their standards are, understanding Mike Brown and his system. Again, small sample size that we have seen from him. So I'm not going to get overly excited, but what is exciting is that your second unit is better with Kessler Edwards as of right now.
Just gives you more. It gives Mike Brown something else to go with. Yep. And if he's not giving you what you need, maybe you go with Terrence Davis, who did not play the other night against the Suns. And, it's crazy too, because it's not like Kessler Edwards went to Pepperdine. There's not many good players who have come from Pepperdine.
Hey, you talk your smack right now. You better talk about the great Doug Christie.
Yeah, Kessler Edwards is a little higher than Doug.
The slander.
This guy's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you are awful human.
Okay, when you think Pepperdine,
you are nothing but garbage.
Kessler Edwards or Doug Christie? Let's think about it. We're probably going Kessler. I think Chris Verla would agree with me too. It's not. I don't think it's far fetched. I mean, you had to remind me that Doug went to Pepperdine. Like,
Oh, I'm Team DC all the way.
Oh,
Del Campo. DC.
I will not take any Doug Christie slander.
Oh my God. Yeah,
It's
neither will I.
amazing. It honestly is amazing how much people love someone who, in the Kings' biggest game in franchise history, had an air ball from the corner.
Bro, you're
Oh!
crazy.
No,
It's
it's insane to me.
you're
No.
a lunatic.
Yeah, you are a lunatic. You're an awful
I can't even do this seriously. I love Doug Christie.
Doug is gonna put you in
I
a
love Doug
headlock.
It's
Christie.
so fun.
I must have just got a text from him or something.
No,
Did
no,
you
no.
really?
I'm just joking.
Doug, I'm just kidding. No, I know Doug likes Kessler a lot too.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see that, and it's cool again that they have that Pepperdine connection.
Do you
and
think
on
they
the
talk
same team.
about like, hey, the fish sticks still the same over there?
Hey, fish sticks
the
at Pepperdine?
fish sticks?
Yeah. When's the last time you had a fish stick?
Yeah,
Ooh, probably a good 20 years.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
and I was gonna say it probably has a lot of bad crap in it. So the fish, I'm saying, because of how our world is working and how things just keep getting to the water and make things worse. Go on.
Okay, Morgan. Go save the ocean. All right, get out of here. All right. We have so much to get to on the show today. We actually have Chris Herring from Sports Illustrated. He's going to be joining us at noon because he wrote an awesome piece last week on the Kings. We'll get his perspective on Sacramento. Emil Fregosa, our 49ers insider with Sactown Sports, he's going to join us in the 1 o'clock hour because the 49ers made a big move today. We're going to talk about that move. Plus Jimmy G.
Ooh.
He's gone.
Bye.
We'll talk about it. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports, 1140 and SactownSports.com.
Hi, Chris Watkins. How are you feeling?
Hi. I feel great.
Oh,
I
good.
feel perfectly fine. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sean in the chat says Terrence Davis, Trey Lyles, Kessler Edwards, Monty Small moves have returned so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real perspective for a second on Kessler Edwards. The Kings got paid to take Kessler Edwards.
Correct.
The Nets. So the Nets not only just gave them, they're like, hey, we need to save money. Can you take Kessler Edwards? And here's cash too.
Yep. $2 million.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for the mills.
I was actually thinking the other day about our guy Trey Lyles and how we acquired Trey Lyles. And it makes it just like so much sweeter that we got him for Marvin Bagley.
In the Bagley deal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they ended up paying Marvin Bagley how much?
I cannot believe they gave Bagley. I think it was is it $8 million a year or 10
I
million?
thought it was more than that.
So if you think about it,
I think it's
the
10.
Kings
Oh
draft
God.
Luka.
Is it like $15 million a year?
It's over 12 million.
Okay,
a year.
there we go.
Oh,
See?
you got 3 years, 37.
If the Kings draft Luka,
Yeah,
Trey Lyles never comes here.
that's
not
Great
worth
point.
it. Not worth it.
I like it.
Honestly, okay, I know we can't go back to that time. I'm being serious now, and I'm gonna say this.
Don't say no. You're saying it right now. He's still young, dude. You're saying it right now in a down time.
I'm saying it right now.
This is so annoying. This is such.
I-
And because the Kings are doing well.
Let me be a palm.
This feels so hot takey.
A palm. Prisoner of the moment.
And no, you can't do. Actually, I'm not gonna let you do this. It's hot takey.
Bottom. Yeah. It's not hot takey to say I like where the Kings are at right now. I like this. I'm glad that if the Kings and Kings fans had to go through that to get to this type of team that is unselfish, moves the ball, plays a fun style, I'm enjoying this.
Instead of being stuck with a superstar player that has.
It's not stuck. I'm not even hating. I think he could be great, but people don't want to talk about Luka. People don't want to talk about the truth around Luka right now.
You got sausage arms and cankles.
And he's got sausage arms and cankles. No, it's Chris, Deuce and I talk about this all the time with Luka, and just like, I mean, when you watch the Mavs, he has those flashes where you're just like, holy moly, he is so good. Like, you get it.
Yeah.
And then but then he is one of those players that is not getting back on defense because he's complaining to an official, or not getting back on defense because he's holding his face or his arm for 7 minutes because he has to make it a point that he got hooked on that.
I was going after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was I was nice about it.
I'm breaking down.
I would say Deuce technically said nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, I'm breaking down his game, and then it got a little petty within it. But yes,
Yeah, and just to be clear, zero pettiness for me. I just said I like the position. That
That's the
Kings are
first
in
thing
now.
that's been petty with Luka in a long time.
I get frustrated. Shut up. I get frustrated when great players have those little those things that just, it's like, wait, you're right there on the verge of being the greatest. Why can't you just tweak that?
I think what also hurt him is just the hype coming into the league, and then him like making a point, just like, yeah, I am that good. It's like, whoa. But people are like, oh man, he's going to get multiple championships, multiple MVPs. Like, dude, you're talking about like elite when he hasn't even played here yet.
Right.
Right.
If you're in the chat, by the way, let's get to 100 thumbs up. We're close. Let's get to 100 thumbs up. It just helps this page grow. I'm going to be rooting hard for the Mavs tonight. No Luka again. Kyrie's questionable. Mavs, Grizzlies.
Oh.
Stand by.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that former Niners quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo is reuniting with head coach Josh McDaniels, who he played for in New England when McDaniels was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. As of right now, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable, but he told Mark Spears of Anscape on Saturday that he hopes to play Monday. Coverage of the game starts with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. And now more with Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Wow. The Kings have 40 wins. It's pretty amazing. We're going to talk some more Kings coming up. Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan, Chris Watkins here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. Chris actually is in the second week with Chris and Co.
Is this only the second week?
Yes, it's the second week of Chris and Co. that airs from 10 to 11 on Sactown Sports. You can also watch it on YouTube. Like you can watch us, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. So the King stuff is crazy. The other thing that's wild today is it's the start of NFL free agency, kind of, right? Teams can agree to deals. The legal tampering period has started, and the Niners have made a huge splash. Or you could read about it at SactownSports.com. Emil Fergosa wrote about that the Niners were able to land someone pretty significant, Javon Hargrave, a.k.a. Grave Digger.
Oh, is that what they call him?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was his nickname. That's awesome.
Dude, it's his nickname, and it's a badass nickname. He got after the quarterback last year in Philly. 11 sacks, part of that Eagles
career
team.
high 11 sacks.
This is huge. This is just massive. Like we talk about like the Niners needing some interior pass rush. And now it's something they've kind of been missing, especially without DeForest Buckner the last few years. They land him, right? And having someone else who can get to the quarterback takes pressure off Bosa and Armstead.
There you go. Who needs a quarterback? Who needs an offense? Am I right? Am I right, guys?
You don't need a quarterback if you hold the team to 0 points, Chris Watkins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely a situation of like just bolstering what is already a strength for you. It feels like this Niners defensive line is probably the best in the NFL right now. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna be pretty consistently good defensively if you can get to the quarterback, as much as it seems like this new defensive line for the Niners is going to. Like Eric Armstead, is just an absolute monster in the middle. And then, to have Bosa coming off of Defensive Player of the Year, and now you add Hargrave as well. Like, again, it's like the Kings getting more offensive weapons. It's just it's just get the rich getting richer.
And it's hilarious because it's like, if that's what one area of the defensive line, you'd be like, yeah, they just, the interior, can they get after the quarterback a little better? It's like they got the guy who gets after the quarterback. He will pressure. He was near the top of the NFL in quarterback pressures last year. I mentioned the sacks. Oh, by the way, you already have Bosa, who would 18 and a half sacks last year.
Oh, and by the way, you take away from a team that had a really good defense.
Right.
Break down their defense.
Dude, it's huge.
It's massive. And I mean, this 49ers team is they got to make a run, with their quarterback situation. I don't want to say in limbo, but just kind of up in the air. strengthening your defense and continuing to have an elite defense is a sure way of really massaging that quarterback situation where Lance might take some time to get back into the swing of things. Who knows how long Brock Purdy's going to take. Having a good defense is a pretty good protection for any possible quarterback woes.
And his deal with the 49ers, Javon Hargrave, gets 4 years, $84 million with $40 million guaranteed. I don't understand the NFL salary cap. I'm not going to pretend to be a cap expert. It's just crazy when you go, oh, Niners, like it seems like they have a cap problems. They've got to get Bosa an extension, you know, and then all of a sudden they get one of the premier guys out there. Like it's like, how do they make this happen?
Yeah. Again, not going to act like I know anything about the cap situation, but what I love is that it seems like they're just going all in and trying to capitalize on what they have right now. We've talked about this, you guys. The windows are so short, especially in a league like the NFL when that type of physical play is being done, you know, season after season, day after day. You think about injuries, health, just your body degrading. And it's just like great to see that the Niners are going in this direction of going full force. Let's go. Gas on, pedal on the gas.
Yes.
Foot on the gas.
Foot on the gas. Pedal on pedal on the gas. Yeah.
No, I think that a big reason why they're able to do this is because they have granted, you know, Trey Lance is still a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, but they have two quarterbacks right now who are on rookie scale deals. And so they're not having to pay the most important position that, you know, what Jimmy just got, what did he get? $32 million to your quarterback. You know, you have the luxury of being able to pay out the other positions and really strengthen the other guys. That is the value of having quarterbacks on rookie scale deals.
A couple other 49ers related moves today. Mike McGlinchey, adios. He's joining the Denver Broncos, going with Sean Payton and Wilson in that group. And then Jimmy G, who Chris just mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo era is officially over. There's hey, he's coming back. I guess we need him. He is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders, 3 years, $67.5 million, including $34 million guaranteed. So whatever the guarantees, I don't know. They're all over the place. So I don't know what to make of that. But Jimmy going to the Las Vegas Raiders, reuniting with Josh McDaniels. It's crazy. The Jimmy G era started with so much hype. He won games, man. He went to a Super Bowl. They've had chances, and now he is off to Las Vegas. Chris, what was your reaction to that move?
First off, it's kind of, if I'm a Raider fan, I probably don't feel great about it. I think a lot has kind of been made about how lateral of a move it is, you know, going from Derek Carr to Jimmy G definitely isn't, going from Derek Carr to Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr to even Tom Brady, I think was somebody that the Raiders felt like they can get. And then it felt like from the beginning that Jimmy G was kind of that breaking case of emergency, you know, the worst case scenario for the Raiders. And now that we're actually here in that worst case scenario, I don't think Raider fans are feeling too great about the situation.
Yeah, it's just weird too, because, you know, the Raiders offense, I thought going into last year, I'm like, God, this offense is going to be nasty. And then it was a letdown last year, right? People are calling for Josh McDaniels' job after 1 year. You know, Jimmy's like a stopgap guy. You know, that's just how I look at it. He's the quarterback that they're going to have for now until they get to their guy.
Yeah,
if they can find it.
He can be out there to manage things, to hopefully just like hang on to the football, don't turn it over. He's not going to throw it downfield.
How's Devontae Adams feeling about this?
Yeah,
probably not too thrilled.
Exactly. Like again, you have a quarterback that it's not even cannot throw deep. I feel like it will not throw deep, right? And so it's just that's just what Jimmy Garoppolo is. And if you have the right offense for it now, with the Niners, they had so many weapons. They had a running game. They had
defense.
That's
right. Coaching.
So it could cover up a lot of his flaws, you know. And I think so many people to this day still want to be like, but Jimmy Garoppolo won all those games. And it's like we always put all the love, we always put all the hate on a quarterback.
You know what's amazing to me?
What?
And Chris, I think the last time we brought up this topic, you got pulled out of the studio to go to Kings practice. These quarterback needy teams are talking about, to get to the next quarterback. how the Raiders not go, you know what? Let's go get Lamar Jackson. Like,
oh, yeah.
How is this Lamar Jackson thing playing out? Like, if you need a quarterback, he is there. He is there. You have to give him a couple first-round picks.
Yep.
And pay him.
But like,
we're talking about a guy who's in the prime of his career, who's been an MVP. I don't get it.
Yeah. You don't have to like take risks and like try and draft a really good quarterback, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels like sometimes in the NFL, you can either have this thing or you can have what's in this box. And it's like, okay, you can take this thing or this potential factor that you don't know. And it's kind of just the nature of draft picks in general. The same applies to basketball as well. But a lot of the times people are like, I don't want to give away 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson because we can do X, Y, and Z with those first-round picks instead of just getting the guy and then figuring it out from there, which is something that, you see a team like the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, it might have kind of ruined their future, but at some point you have to be like, okay, we have Devontae Adams in here. We just, went through this crazy coach thing with Gruden and then, who's going to replace it and all that. And at some point you have to be like, we're legitimately trying to see what we have here. And you have Devontae Adams. You don't want to waste the talent like that. And, it'll be interesting to see how that offense changes with Jimmy G, because as you mentioned, Morgan, not really somebody who likes to throw the ball down the field. But I'm interested to see Jimmy G in Vegas. That to me is the real story.
You mean playing
Jimmy
football
G
in Vegas or just in Vegas?
Oh, no,
hanging out?
off the field. Off the field. I mean, Jimmy's a guy who, we know he enjoys his extracurricular activities. And he enjoys
clubs?
Yeah, just to be clear.
Well, the workers.
Yes, I was going to say he was dating a few strippers.
Yeah,
it
and
feels
just
like
which, by the way, is a job, and there's no knock on it.
John Morant.
Labor is labor.
John Morant photographed at a strip club with money all over the floor. Can you believe it? Jimmy G with escorts. Oh, that's
Visionary.
so cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, fun.
Oh, man.
Funny how that works. Funny how that works.
Hey, coming up next, we'll talk some more. It's just a busy day. We got NFL free agency. It's here. The Kings are going for a 500 season. They win tonight. It guarantees it. It's Deuce and Mo alongside Chris Watkins. This is Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com. YouTube chat.
Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate the love.
Ooh, I mean, there's 300 plus watching us live. We should have that at like 150. I'm not trying to be greedy here, but Chris
sounds
agrees.
greedy.
Chris Watkins agrees with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So crazy how much money the NFL has to give to people. Here's a $40 million contract. Or, well, I mean, $84 million, but 40 of it for sure guaranteed, which also, by the way, is just like such BS.
It's 11:40. So
it's 11:40.
It's 11:40.
Our new gimmick at 11:40.
I'm just trying to get paid. I'm just trying to get us paid.
Yeah, no, make me money. Good job, Chris. Make me money. I say,
yeah.
Let's get us paid. Oh, yeah, I need Mo's Minute in my life.
Yeah, you do. You're annoying.
You're annoying and stupid and no one likes you. Go on, Chris. Chris Verlotta can't hear anything. Oh.
That's because they try to advertise on our Mo's Minute music. They're making money, not us.
Ew.
Everyone in the chat, 11:40 every day, we stop for Mo's Minute. She takes us through a little guided breathing exercise.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's 11:40 and it's Mo's Minute.
Hey, what's up? This is my meditation voice.
Wow, it's not relaxing.
Breathe with me.
Okay, well, a little creepy too.
Sorry.
Chris Watkins, Chris Verlotta, and Deuce Mason, please, if you guys could all take a deep breath through your nose, but wait.
The music's a little loud. It's hard to hear you.
Turn it down in your ear. Okay. Okay, ruining all then. Okay, so then what I want you guys to do is feel it though in your tummy. In your tummy, okay? Can you feel it? Ready? Through your nose, out your mouth. Ready? But really, really hard. 1, 2. Did everyone do it out their mouth like that?
Morgan's got COVID all over that mic. Yep.
Honestly, probably do. This has been your Mo's Minute at 11:40.
Remember when you wanted Deuce to join in?
Yeah, I regret that so much.
I just put it over so hard.
Chris and Chris, thank you guys for being normal.
Sometimes putting it over is taking shots at it, and everyone's like, "No, I love it," and then the crowd's all
People
reacting.
already loved
it's
it.
part of it. It's classic heel work. Trust the heel when he's at work. Okay, it's just like when I'm talking about Doug Christie, and everyone's like,
Let him cook.
Dude, Doug Christie is the best. You take let me cook.
Oh my god, some people are so gross too. Ugh.
It's 11. The Kings have 40 wins. Mo's minute. Thank you. That's a good point. We have 316 people watching. 316. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris Watkins. I was also going to say to you, I feel really bad. I feel a little bad. I was mentioning on air with Kyle Draper on Saturday's broadcast that I'm a Trey Bay. I'm a Trey Bay. And I didn't give you credit.
Wow.
And I felt bad because, and I thought about it too. And I've done that to Will Z before. I'm really good about using Will Z stats and giving him credit. But like I've done that once before and I've messaged him like, yo, I used the stat, did not credit you, like won't happen again kind of thing. But anyway, I'm really sorry and I will credit if I use again.
It's okay. That's the beauty of us Trey Bays is it's for all of us. It's not me, you know. I am not, you know.
Are you the creator?
I mean, you know, who likes to put labels on things?
That means he saw it somewhere. And he doesn't
know where he got it. Okay, wow. Okay. Well, no, I actually did. It came straight from
he's taking a mic out of the stand.
Yeah, I was like, okay, hold on. Wait. Yeah, no, I don't know. It just rhymed, you know. It's
Trey Bay.
I like it. No,
the Trey Bay, like that got that song in my head like all day. All
Speaking
I
of
was
songs,
like, hey, baby.
Morgan's got a little song cooking for the Kings' next win, according to sources. Good debut tonight.
Good debut. Deuce has one cooking too.
It's just a little ways away. Mine's a little complicated. Coming up with a one for Chandelier about the Kings is hard.
You're an idiot. That's so hard.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Oh, yes. Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan. We are live on a Monday coming up at noon. Everyone's on board the Kings right now. You got Bill Simmons and Rusilla. You got Kendrick Perkins. But Chris Herring wrote a great piece for Sports Illustrated. He'll be joining us live at noon. We're alongside Chris Watkins right now. What's going on, Mo?
We also got another No Dunks shout out today this morning. It's okay.
At some point, it's just like, of course. I mean, look,
okay,
we are getting shout outs left and right. When you're great, you're great. Give us the love we deserve.
Hey, no, hearing Deuce and Mo on a national podcast, people that had inspired me and us to podcast from the start. It's so cool to hear it. It will never get
old. At some point, you will just understand we are elite.
Ew, stop. This is gross. Please stop.
It's okay to think.
No. Chris Watkins, please help me.
Morgan, did Kobe Bryant think he was elite?
He did, and he was.
Okay. Yes. Great. Deuce Mason thinks he's elite. He's elite. Okay. Kobe, right?
Christopher Laud, are you elite?
I've been elite since day one.
Okay. Chris Watkins.
Part of the elite.
It's on my shirt.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, good. Okay, I like that.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Are the Kings elites?
Ooh.
By the way, his article, Chris Herring's article entitled More Cowbell, How the Kings Rejoined the NBA Elites. It is crazy because I do feel like in Sacramento, you're so close to this situation talking about this team where we, of course, go crazy with a win. But also a lot of people feel losses and they act like, oh, if the Kings have flaws, they're fatal flaws and no other team has fatal flaws. I don't know if they're part of the elite, but it's not outrageous, the narrative that's forming about this team making a bit of a run in the playoffs now. And it's not only based with how the Kings are playing, it's based on the fact that the rest of the West is wildly inconsistent, has flaws.
Yeah, Chris, we were listening to you before, and you were talking a little bit, and you were talking a little bit about the West. How are you feeling about the Kings, and I mean, how everyone is talking about them right now?
Yeah, I think Deuce kind of hit the nail on the head right there. I think that it's it is tough when you're so close to the situation. You do, especially, I think the Kings defense is a legitimate flaw to be concerned about, and it definitely could be a fatal flaw. But I do think that a lot of people, myself included at times, do get lost in like looking at the bigger picture and looking at everybody else in the league. And, you look at The Athletic today released their power rankings. They have the Kings 5th. There's a lot of teams in the NBA right now that
CBS
have
Sports
flaws.
had them too.
Wait, who had them too?
CBS Sports.
Yeah, but theirs is different. They do a weekly thing.
Yeah.
This is like,
Okay.
hey,
Still,
this is where they
even
work
then.
for the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I almost had
Yeah.
to step out for a second there. I was like, 2. No, I just think that, we're not in a super team era anymore. We definitely have some really legitimately good, two-man tandems. You have what's going on in Boston, and Jokic is going crazy, but we're not living in an NBA of inevitability anymore. It's not the Warriors league to take and everybody else would be lucky to even make an appearance. It's really everybody is up for the taking, and we just haven't been in this kind of situation in a while. And I think you can look as close as the Phoenix Suns finals appearance to show that you really can go from obscurity to real relevance over the course of a season.
Totally. And more than ever, there is so much talent spread out, right? It's not so much like, oh man, as soon as you hit the second unit, as soon as you go into the bench, it's these guys that you would not even want to see in the G League or something, and sure, that could happen for some rosters because there's the 30 teams in the league, but I still look at the way that the league has now created itself into just a very equal opportunity for everybody in so many ways. And it might not even be that each and every year.
NBA socialism. You're a socialist. You sick son.
I love it. Spread the love for everybody. But truly, and I also think when you look at how basketball used to be played or different eras, so many times people go, man, the skill level is just so much more now than it was back then. I think there were individuals that had that high skill level that players have now, but I think it's the majority of players now have that high skill level because they've had to pick up their game the way that they've practiced to get into the league and go up against the best of the best to now find a place of their own in the best league in the world.
Before we move on, you want to hear what Kendrick Perkins had to say today? He
Why
was talking
not?
about the Warriors and their flaws. Here's what he had to say about the Kings, too.
Because no matter how young that King group is, no matter how unexperienced they may have for us when it comes down to the postseason, they have old souls. And Mike Brown is doing a hell of a job right now. And when I watch this team, they play agenda-free basketball. Keegan Murray is one of the rookies, I haven't seen a rookie like him in the last 10 years. I haven't seen a rookie like him in the last 10 years. And then they have a leader that we don't talk about enough. And I'm not talking about De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. I'm talking about Harrison Barnes. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching Denver go down the slope right now. They done lost 3 in a row. Jokic can't guard a chair. And I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings steady rising and rising and rising. And I'm looking how inconsistent the Western Conference is. One, the Sacramento Kings going to the Western Conference Finals. But 2, the Golden State Warriors, their championship days are over.
Woo! Kings going to the conference finals and the Warriors championship days are over.
I mean,
what do you think about what he had to say about the Sacramento Kings?
I love that everyone is now. It's funny, you guys. When there's a narrative, it seems like everyone jumps on board. Like, are you watching the Sacramento Kings and believing this as well? I know for people like us that we were still timid to be able to be like, yeah, this team, they could really be a contender now in the Western Conference. And I think we're to the point now seeing so much weird drama. It's not even due to a whole bunch of health for these other teams. It's drama. It's some of the better teams losing, and you think about the Kings and staying healthy. All these things are going right for the Kings. All these things are going wrong for the other teams. And on top of that, the Kings play a style of basketball that is it is elite. It is, well, at least on one end of the floor, right? But because it is elite on one end of the floor, that's how you win most games, is putting more buckets in than the other team.
Yeah, in breaking news, they've done it against good defensive teams.
I know.
Phoenix has been playing good defensive basketball. The Kings went to Phoenix and kicked their ass. Now, I will acknowledge they did it without Durant, and that Suns team is also a little different because you subtract Durant, they also don't have Bridges anymore, so it changes things, but it's a good Suns team that they just beat on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just the Suns that they've put points on. The Kings' last 6 opponents, I think I looked up the other day, have been top 15 in the league, or top half of the league in terms of defensive rating. They put up 134 on the Wolves. They're a top 10 defense. The Pelicans are a top 10 defense, 123 on them. The Knicks are a team. I mean, we saw how difficult it was for the Kings to maintain possession, and that they still managed to put up 122 points. And then last night, or I'm sorry, I keep saying last night, Saturday against Phoenix, put up 128. It'll be interesting tonight. I mean, they play Milwaukee, who's the second best defense in the NBA right now in terms of defensive rating. How will they be able to stack up against them? It's to the point now where even if they do have an off night, it doesn't make me nervous. It's more just like, yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. I mean, they've had 120 points in 9 straight games. It's absurd.
It is. And tonight, you're right, it's going to be a big test. The Bucks, with or without Giannis, a serious test, especially defensively. They could have a defensive player of the year on their team, and his name's not Giannis or Drew Holiday.
Crazy. Or Drew Holiday, right.
It's Brooke Lopez.
Yep.
Wild. 14 blocks in the last 2 games. What? He's averaging a career high in blocks. Chris, thanks so much for hanging out with us this hour. Of course, we encourage everyone to check out Chris Monday through Friday, right before our show from 10 to 11, right here on Sactown Sports. Coming up next, can't wait for this. Sports Illustrated giving the Kings some love for their magical season. The man who wrote a piece on the Kings last week, Chris Herring, joins us live. Coming up next on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Oh, I have to go too.
Sorry, I have to make a quick phone call, guys.
Okay, and I have to run to the restroom.
I'm gonna hold down the break. I got this.
Are you still there with? Oh, okay. So it's just us.
Yeah, it's just us, Chris. It's Chris and Chris. Welcome to Chris and Chris, the best 3-minute show that any of you will tune into today. I have nothing to say, honestly.
So it's to me. So I mean,
yeah, to you.
Good news on Sunday, right?
He handles the invoice.
What are you talking about, Chris?
They didn't give up 7.
No, we scored the same amount. No, I know what you're talking about, Chris. You're talking about Man United. We scored the same amount of points that we did last game as well. So that's great. It's fine. All we're trying to do is just secure our position in the top 4 right now.
Okay. Job well done.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? City's gonna take the title? Arsenal's looking.
City has been down 8 with 4 games to go. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, you can never really count y'all out. And plus, like, if anyone's gonna fumble this stand, like Arsenal would definitely be the club to.
I don't know though.
Hi.
We now welcome Morgan to Soccer
Oh,
Talk.
sorry. I didn't hear you. If I interrupted, I'm so sorry.
No, right? I'm just like,
welcome to Kickball.
Kickball.
Is that what we're talking about? Kickball?
No. Morgan, I have a question for you.
Ask away.
This is actually from my girlfriend. Asked me this question. And I feel like I do know the answer. Do you do your hair and makeup for NBC Sports?
Was I just complaining to you before the show, Christopher Lott?
Yeah.
God, I need to stop complaining so much before the show. So the answer is yes, which, by the way, doing your own hair and makeup, that's why people pay hairstylists and makeup artists, because it's its own job. And yes, I do it. And does she like it or no?
She said you look great.
Thank you.
She was like, does she do her hair and makeup? Because it looks great. And I was I'll ask her.
No, tell her thank you. And I have to pick out. I'm my own stylist too, so I have to pick out my own clothes.
So that was
and-
my next question too, because like I don't know how y'all just like are just routinely swapping. I assume it's like a subscription service.
So I use a place called Rent the Runway, and so because I could never afford having 6 different suits in my closet. You know what I mean? It's just like, who are we? And by the
Is that why you rented pajamas last game? Or
correct. Well, and I kind of dug the vibe of my last suit. It was just like a kind of a risque kind of outfit.
Are you ever like,
so risque.
I don't really know how I feel about this one. Like, it's the only one I got, but you know.
Yeah, I've done that twice. I wore a dress that looked like a doily, and I made fun of myself the entire night because I looked like an idiot. But that's the thing, Chris, too, because you pay a certain amount a month, and so you get a certain amount of outfits. And when one doesn't work, but I have like only black pants and a black turtleneck in my closet, it's like, what am I gonna do, bruh? So I've been. But then also, this is the other thing. It takes time and sometimes over an hour just to pick out what suits you're going to wear because you have to have the right size, and I've gained weight. So I'm like,
TV problems. It's hard working on TV, Chris. It's just, feel bad.
No, it's not hard working on TV. It's hard having TV, radio, calling games, podcasts.
You did really well the other night. As
really?
An analyst. Yeah.
Well, is he being honest?
As the analyst? No, you did. You did really well.
He was being honest.
Thank you. That's obviously my dream, is to be a color analyst on an NBA broadcast one day. But like, being able to just analyze the game and not worry about hosting it. Oh, my God. I was in heaven.
Someone was just asking me about that the other day. Like, I think that I can't remember what the exact question was, but essentially I was having to explain to them like the difference of like being in the different chairs for shows. And it's just like, it's not that necessarily you don't have to be as prepared. It's just like Deuce is driving the car.
Yep.
And like, we're passengers, and we're all picking, we take turns picking songs, but Deuce is the one.
I disagree with that. I'm 100% controlling the songs too. You do not touch. You do not touch the songs.
We only get a breakdown whether or not we like the songs, but we do not get to choose the songs.
Well, am I a good driver, Chris, or is it a lot of like speed and star? Like how?
No, hey, no joke. You're a great driver. Great driver.
You hear that?
I feel
Morgan?
very comfortable with Deuce at the wheel.
This is stuff like I don't get from you ever.
Wait,
like ever.
Can I tell you one thing? I think someone is referencing really quick something that I said on the broadcast. I said defender of the year, and I meant defensive player of the year.
Oh my God. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlot with your Sactown Sports headlines. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that former Niner quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is signing with Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo is reuniting with head coach Josh McDaniels, who he played for in New England, and McDaniels was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. You can read more about Jimmy G's move by Emil Fergosa on SactownSports.com. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable, but he told Mark Spears of Anscape on Saturday that he hopes to play Monday. Coverage of the game starts with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. Now more with Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
On Sactown Sports.
Oh, happy Monday. Juice Mason, Morgan Reagan live on a big Monday. The Kings welcome in the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, looking for win number 41. Yes, something we have not been able to say since 2005-06.
Oh
the
God.
Kings are looking for win number 41. It is March. In fact, it is March 13th, and we're saying that. We need to appreciate where we're at. We're expected to be joined by, in a few minutes, Chris Herring with Sports Illustrated. He just wrote a piece on the Sacramento Kings. He's going to join us, get the national perspective on the Kings. We're getting a lot of love today. I mentioned this at the top of the show, but I was stunned. I saw Bill Simmons' tweet this morning that like had Sacramento as the first thing they were talking about. I turned it on. They spent a good 25 minutes, Simmons and Russillo, talking about the Kings and where they're at, and if this team can not only get to the conference finals, but maybe have a chance at coming out of the West.
Well, at first when Bill Simmons threw that at Russillo, Russillo's like, no, they're not going to come out of the West. And then it was later on in the podcast, they started going over each team in the West. And he's like, oh my God, wait, could this be a thing?
It is wild.
It is.
It is absolutely wild. I'm not there yet with that. Of course, the playoffs it's just such a different game. But like with how the West is right now, look at what's going on with Denver. Denver's lost 3 in a row. And it's not like, oh, they lost to some really good teams. It's been really disappointing. Yesterday, they lost to the Nets at home, right? That's not a good loss.
No.
Before that, they lost at San Antonio, where social media ran with that because Jokic put on a honestly disgusting defensive display against the Spurs. And then they lost to the Bulls.
Did Kendrick Perkins say he couldn't even guard a chair or something?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was he kept just swatting at the ball on drives. It was actually really disappointing. And like especially from a 2-time MVP to play that level where I think so many people are running with it now, like, oh, that's how he always plays defense. It's not, but it is a little concerning that they're having those type of issues. And then yesterday against the Nets, they put Jokic out in space, right? They went smaller, put Jokic out in space, make him defend, and they were able to take advantage. Michael Porter Jr. didn't even play in the fourth quarter of that game. Jamal Murray's had some knee issues, and you hear, oh, it's just knee soreness. Yeah, when it's knee soreness with a guy who's had knee issues, it's concerning. The Kings are 5 games behind the Nuggets right now. They've got like 14 to play. I don't think they're going to catch them by any means, but it is interesting that the team at the top of the West, they're going through it right now. They can get out of it, sure. Memphis is going through it, right? The Clippers have gone through it. Keep going down the West.
Yeah.
The one team that's been kind of steady here has been the Kings. They have not lost 3 in a row since late November.
Wow. That number alone, fantastic, right? And I think when we talked about this a little bit with Chris, when you look at the way that they're playing and it's sustainable at times. And I know some people get frustrated. Why is Mike Brown still playing these guys? Or like, you got to make sure to go down the bench. You got to rest these guys. It's not about that this season. In my opinion, it's not about that this season. It's about getting to the playoffs, keeping a good seed, and trying to work from there. Because it's so weird to even think that the Kings could actually make it to the Western Conference Finals. But let's just say like that's like not even that's not in our imagination right now. You look at what they would have to push through physically and mentally with a 7-game series and everything. It just would be so healthy for their development.
You want them to get those reps in those meaningful games. By the way, if you have thoughts on this, do you think the Kings, like some others, have a chance at getting to the conference finals, maybe getting out of the West? You can hit us up. So many ways to do so in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Also on the phones, if you want to use your voice. I know people don't call each other really in 2023.
It's weird.
When's the last time you chose to call someone just to catch up?
You know what's funny? I only did with my brother Jesse because it was family, and because I couldn't text him back about something, and I was like, I'm just gonna call him really quick. And even that, I think he was like, why are you calling me?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and hit us up at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I know we're supposed to have Chris Herring on. He's not here yet. We keep it rolling. It's a show. It doesn't matter. We can keep talking. He is scheduled to join us at some point today. But it's crazy that we're having these talks. It really is. I mean, the Kings right now with 40 wins, 16 games to go. And like, if they just played 500 basketball, they win 48 games. Like, this team has a chance to win 50 games. Like, what are we talking about?
That's what's weird. Deuce, you and I had 40 Wins crew on our podcast on Saturday night. And, I mean, the whole world had 40 Win guys on their shows.
Not right after the game. Not immediately following the Kings winning 40.
You're
right. All this No, we waited until it happened.
Yeah. No, it's funny. My NBC producer was just like, hey, do you want 40 Win guy on the show today? I'm like,
been there, done that.
We already done that. But truly, you look at them getting excited about this 40 win mark. And I think Harrison Barnes was asked about it at a practice, and he's like, 40. He's like, I'm not looking just for 40 because, I grew up watching the Spurs and it was always like 50 win seasons, like growing up and watching that type of basketball, watching winning basketball. And I totally get it because he's been a professional basketball for, most of his life now, if you think about it. And we're us consuming a product and being sports fans, especially Kings fans, it's like all we could ask for was a 40-win season. And now we're not only going to get more than a 40-win season, we're going to get a team that's going to make the playoffs. What do you see?
No, I'm just standing up.
I thought maybe you got excited, and I was like, oh, what?
Anyway, yeah, I mean, 50 wins they have a shot at, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand that the Kings have only won 50 games or more in a season 5 times?
Wait. Say that one more time.
They've won 50 games or more in a season 5 times in 39 years. They did it 5 consecutive years. It was in 2000, 2001, they won 55.
Okay.
The next year, they won 61. The year after that, 59, then 55 and 50 games. So we talk about this team just being the 8th team to win 40 or more in a season. They won 50. This is one of the better teams that the city has ever seen, and that's what's wild about it. I think all of us had expectations of this could be exciting, get to the play, and can you maybe get to the top 6? Just give yourself a chance at the playoffs. And here we are on March 13th with NBA pundits left and right talking about the Kings and maybe making a legit push in the playoffs. In addition to that, we're talking about it's not about top 6, it's about maybe home court advantage. Home court advantage.
It almost feels unreal. I mean, how many times have we said to each other, is this real life? Is this real? I think Chris Watkins was saying that on his show too. Like, is this real life? It doesn't feel like this is what this season was going to be. Now, there are other people, because I always joke with Kyle Draper, because for example, Kenny Thomas before every single game goes, I think the Kings are going to win this one. And then anytime they do win, he says, see, I predicted that. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get it right, Kenny, but good job. So then with Kyle, he was really positive before the season, being like, I think De'Aaron's going to be an all-star. I think, and Kyle, what I love about Kyle, he's just a really positive guy when it comes to the team that he covers, that he's a fan of. And with me, I my approach is very realistic. And my realistic approach was like, you guys, these are humans we're talking about. It's not like you're just going to add one human and then all of a sudden you make, you reach a championship. Like, come on, there's got to be growth and you got to be patient about it. This season, what Mike Brown has done with this team, but the leaps that these guys have taken because they have responded to Mike Brown, his style of coaching, the buy-in, what they really want. It's really brought them to a whole nother level that I could have never even dreamed of being for Mike Brown's first year in Sacramento.
Let's get some more perspective. You can hit us up 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's check in with TC. What's up, TC?
Deuce and Mo, man. How you guys been?
Oh, man, we're good. Good to hear your voice. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Just tapping in, man. Remember, on the Night podcast, nighttime chat, I was screaming a lot about the 6th seed. I called in and talked to you guys too about the 6th seed before the season, and just to see them in the 2nd seed and people acknowledging us, talking about Western Conference Finals. We're a contender, bro. And man, it just feels good for the Kings to be back. I'm super excited, and I'm so glad to see the city turning upside down right now, bro. So that's all I got for you guys.
Let me ask you this real fast, TC. I know people are starting to give the Kings a lot of love. Do you think they can get to the conference finals? Have you seen enough to go, yeah, I think depending on the matchup, they can get there?
Honestly, truthfully, and I'm not trying to be a homer, but honestly, I really think they can. If you look at the last few seasons, I'm going to just say 2 teams. Even though they had coaching and Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns when they went to the finals, and think about the Dallas Mavericks last year when they went to the Western Conference Finals. If everything is clicking and fall our way, bro, we can go for sure to the Western Conference. And once we get there, anything can happen.
God. It would be one of the most improbable things we've ever seen. It's so hard for me to just believe in this, because it's like, how? Like, I was one of the more optimistic people heading into the season. I didn't think we'd be having this conversation.
I don't think anyone thought we were going to be having this conversation. And TC, that's why this is so cool, that all of us can adjust where we were from the beginning of this season to where we are now, closer and closer to an NBA postseason.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, CC, thanks for checking in. All right, we're going to take a 60-second break on the radio side. If Chris Herring shows up, he shows up, man.
Hey, we on island time? Is that what?
Island time, man. Yeah. Sure.
Island time.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just chill, man.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. Coming up next, Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. What is going on YouTube chat? YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe. Something else I heard today is later on today, you might be able, the Kings may be getting an apology from someone today. YouTube chat, let me ask you during the break. Today, later today.
Oh.
If not, later this week.
Okay.
Who is the NBA pundit or personality who will be apologizing to the Sacramento Kings?
Ooh.
Any guesses?
Also, we're going to have him on tomorrow.
JJ Sub got it. So Chewy. Yes, JJ Redick is who will be apologizing. Why are you looking at me like that?
Why are you saying that?
Didn't he already apologize?
No.
Oh, that wasn't.
It's not like breaking. What are you saying, Morgan? There's not like some exclusive thing. He's giving a heads up, like, hey, it's coming. God, like I just gave him a state secret. FBI is gonna come arrest me. NSA, what are you doing?
Hands up! Hands up, Deuce Mason! Oh, God.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
What a day. What a day. Think about what we're talking about today. During the California Classic, after the Kings went 2-0 at Chase Center in San Francisco, you had 3 fans. Sean, John, Nadeem, they walked out all fired up saying, let's get 40 wins this year. Let's go. And social media made fun of them like, whoa, aim high, huh? And here we are in March talking about the Kings having 40 wins. What the hell? Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, it's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports, 1140 and SactownSports.com. It's a busy day, too. We haven't given the Lady Hornets their love. Sac State Hornets, Stingers way up. We found out they're the 13 seed in the NCAA tournament. 13 seed taking on the number 4 seed UCLA Bruins.
Ugh, I hate Bruins. Is Jason Ross going to cheer for UCLA or Sac State?
Come on, you have to ask.
What's the answer?
It's UCLA.
Fraud.
You lie.
He's a spy.
He's
Is
spy.
he?
He's not even from Northern California.
That's a good point.
We need to arrest him so he doesn't try and spy on them and give them all their plays.
Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Sac State, like, first of all,
so
the
cool.
first time they've been in the NCAA tournament, they're not like a 16 seed or a 15, a 13 seed. We've seen 13-4 upsets before. That'd be, how crazy would it be if they beat UCLA?
Oh, it would be so fun. Just, I mean, one, I haven't watched much women's basketball this year, so I don't know how UCLA.
But in sports, you have to have a take. Like, I'm watching Stephen A. Smith today. Chris, I kid you not. He is breaking down Washington State, Florida Gulf Coast. There is zero chance in hell he has seen a highlight from that game.
0.0.
Yeah, 0.0. There's just no way. There's just no way.
He was given a sheet by his producer with a few stats saying, here, this team's really good at defense here. This team's really good at offense. Do what you do. Money, money, money.
And he's breaking it down like he is Mr. Bracketologist. Settle it down. Settle it down. So all we're going to do in Sacramento
This seems like a cash grab.
Yeah, exactly. Make him money. But yeah, Sac State.
I mean, if the women Hornets do go down there and beat UCLA, that wouldn't be a surprise.
How come?
Sacramento has owned LA all season long.
Keep it rolling. Oh, speaking of Sac State, here is Mr. Sac State, Mike Barnbaum. Hi, Mike.
What up, Deuce and Mo?
What up, Mike?
Light the beam.
Light the
beam,
How you
Mike.
doing?
Oh, doing fantastic. How you doing on this fantastic Monday?
Oh, we are great, man. What's on your mind?
Oh, well, just to kind of piggyback on what you were just saying. So I had a very crazy and interesting weekend.
Oh, great. Here we go.
So if you were following me, I was at Footprint Center covering the Kings game in person on Saturday.
Just to be clear, you weren't covering it. You were there as a fan rooting for the Kings.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then flew back Sunday and attended the watch party in the Athletic Center to see what the reveal would be in the women's Sunday selection show.
Yeah. It's a busy weekend.
So how was that party? Was it fun? Were you cheering them on once they got selected at 13th?
No, he's booing them.
Oh no. It was a very lively crowd. We were all cheering, got photos and videos of it, put a Facebook post on it. Michelle Dapper was there. Jason Ross was there, among others. It was fantastic. And just saw today, and I just put it on the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
No scheduling conflict this coming Saturday. So you got Kings at Wizards starting at 4:30 on NBC Sports California, and the Sac State UCLA game on ESPN2 at 8:30 at night.
Let's go. All right, Mike. That's awesome, dude.
Yep. So I hope a lot of people will take in a lot of television on Saturday and catch two local teams without a scheduling conflict.
All right, Mike. Appreciate it. Stingers up, okay?
Stingers up and light the beam.
All right.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
What?
Sometimes you just try to rush him, and I just don't appreciate it.
Morgan.
I had like 7 more questions for Mike Barnbaum.
Morgan, your first one was, did you root for the Sac State?
No, I was curious about what the vibe was in there when they got picked.
Disappointment. They walked out pissed.
So again,
I mean, they're in the NCAA
were you
tournament.
there? He was there covering it.
When you asked that question, what were you thinking? There's a possibility.
I thought he was going to be like, there was bottles of champagne popping and
yeah,
confetti everywhere.
For the 20-year-olds on the team, they popped some champagne.
There's also 21-year-olds, but either way, Deuce. And then I wanted to ask him.
Maybe they're sober curious. Maybe it wasn't.
And maybe they're sober curious. But also, I wanted to ask him if he thought Jason Ross was spying because he was also there at that party.
Yeah, I think because Jason was telling me he was in the back of the room, not wanting to be seen.
Lurking.
It makes sense that he's spying for UCLA.
We're going with this bit, by the way.
Definitely. What?
Go on.
No, why'd you look at me like that?
Because you're definitely stupid. Go on.
I don't have anything now.
Oh,
no, that's on you.
Oh.
It's on you. Go ahead. I was just trying to give the Lady Hornets some love,
dude. Well, yeah, they're also my.
Okay. By the way, when you whisper, no one heard what you just said. Are you okay? We're doing a show right now. We're doing a show. You going? No one heard that. No one heard what you just said.
Because I didn't want to ruin it.
It's fine. You didn't have to. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
By the way, the NCAA tournament's in Sacramento too.
Yeah.
That's coming up Thursday. We learned about the games coming to Golden One Center. UCLA's playing here. That's cool. Jason Ross will be happy about that. So on Thursday, you have Utah State against Missouri. Shout out Utah State. Namias Cato went there, but he won't be in town. That kind of sucks.
That does suck.
And then you got Arizona and Princeton, Boise State, Northwestern, and then UNC Asheville in the nightcap taking on UCLA. We went in 2017 when the tournament was here. It's just fun. It's just fun just hanging out watching basketball all day.
Yeah, I mean, that was also what's that holiday called?
St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. I always called it Leprechaun Day, and I just always forgot what it was after that.
Thing.
Yeah, same thing. You wear green, don't get pinched. Also a stupid concept. But yeah, it was a really good vibe around the Doco area. I don't even think Doco was called Doco yet.
It was.
At the time. Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, whatever.
I'm just saying it was. It was crazy down there.
Yeah.
I just remember the bars. We did some day drinking that day.
Oh, I was definitely drunk. Yeah. It was great.
Seeing UCLA and Alonzo Ball.
It was fun.
That was so, I do wish they would get to a point where it wasn't just the first round games. It was the deeper games would come to Sacramento just so we could see more of the elite teams in college basketball.
Yeah. I wonder what the vibe is when it is more elite teams, but I feel like it's still just It's a basketball town.
Is that it?
Sacramento is a basketball town.
Okay. Is she just abrupt today, Chris?
That was a little abrupt.
It
was like it's a basketball town. It sounded like you were going to go someplace. It's a basketball town,
and then she was just
and
started
we're all
adjusting her
excited
headphones. Like, yep. I'm like, oh, okay.
Did it really
Yeah.
sound like that? Okay, I thought he was just being mean. I was like, what are you talking
It's not
about?
just me being mean, Morgan.
Just being mean.
75% of the time it's been being mean. The other 25%.
Where's Mike Barnbaum? Get him back on the phone.
We have to talk about Kings and Bucks today too. Giannis is questionable at this point. Would you rather see the Bucks with Giannis or without Giannis? And I know on the surface, of course I want to see a sure-handed team. I kind of want to see them go head-to-head with Giannis.
I want to see them go head-to-head with Giannis because
it might be the NBA Finals.
Because it might be the NBA Finals, yes. But also because I just think this type of competition right now can really challenge them to just take their game to a different level. And the Bucks are 9-6 without Giannis, right? So they still know how to win games without him. So it's still a tough team. But at the same time, yeah, I think that type of matchup is just good for them to go into the postseason knowing like what it would be like.
I'm just ready for them to end this stupid streak. It's been 13 games in a row that the Bucks have beat the Kings. That goes back to the 15-16 season. Giannis was not even an all-star at that point in his third season in the NBA. So we'll talk about much more about that game. You can hit us up to 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Kings and Bucks, NFL free agency. It's a crazy day. This is Sactown Sports and Sactown Sports 1140.com. The Bucks are stacked for sure. It's not a gimme even without Giannis. No, definitely not a gimme. Do the Kings have a shot at the conference finals? 51% people saying, oh, hell yes. Dude, you guys are believing.
You know what's weird? I'm just thinking about this. Everyone who made their predictions before the season, positive, kind of so-so, negative, everyone was wrong. There's not one person that said like, oh, they could be a 50-win team.
Not a single
and
person.
They'll be like a 2 seed.
No.
That's crazy.
And because what they're doing isn't just like, oh, it's a Cinderella story. Like for a sports team to take that leap without being like, oh, they had a LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and name whoever the hell else, right? Like it's not like they did that. Abrupt.
That was abrupt.
Yeah,
but I looked away real quick. So
yeah.
That's my apology.
Good. No, it's good.
If you have not hit the thumbs up button, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We're at 183. We're almost at 200. Let's get to 200 before 1. That'd be awesome. Zay says, give us Giannis. Yeah, I agree. That'd be fun. Just Owen wants to know, is Sacramento a legit free agent destination now? I mean, I don't know what legit is. I don't think they're going to be landing a star, but I mean, I don't know. I can't even predict things anymore with this team.
But they really don't need a star.
They've got a couple stars.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oop, that's interesting. Gotcha, Gina. So funny. Okay.
This is so funny. Like he just messed
What's up, Joe, John? We're going to have Chris Herring coming up right after the break. Chris just told me he is ready to go, so we'll get him for a few minutes. Jimmy G to the Raiders. Wow.
Kareth Burke, Monty Poole, and Dalton Johnson had a. Oh well, I guess it was those. Monty Poole and Kareth had got to discuss. Why can't I talk? They interviewed Steph Curry for a Dubs talk.
Steph. All right.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. As of right now, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable, but he told Mark Spears of Anscape on Saturday that he hopes to play Monday. Coverage of the game starts with game night at 5:30 and tip-off is scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. Now more with Deuce and Mo and our guest, Chris Herring.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Sactown Sports, 1140 SactownSports.com. Super excited to talk to a guy who covers the NBA at an elite level. He, of course, is senior writer at Sports Illustrated. He just wrote a piece on the Kings last week, put a couple of cool pieces on the Kings. He's the one and only Chris Herring. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm really good. I owe you an apology. I lost complete track of the time, and I was supposed to have joined you much earlier, so I really apologize for that.
Oh, you're totally fine. You're busy. It's probably more important than what we're doing here. We're just hanging out, so you're good, man. We're happy to have you. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, I'm curious. You just put out that story about the Kings last week. I loved it. What inspired you to write about the Kings?
I'm like anybody else, or maybe not. I don't know. I take interest in stuff that doesn't happen much. I've got my telescope sitting outside and look for comets and whatever else or eclipses. And frankly, those happen more often than the Kings make the playoffs these days. So I wanted to, be there.
So
and if I'm being honest, I mean, I reached out to the Kings PR staff in November, really interested to take a trip. I was about 15 minutes away from boarding a plane to head out there before my editors kind of shouted at me for not following protocol to run all my travel by them first. But I was really excited then when they looked to be, if not legitimate, if not 2-seed level, then just maybe they'll be 500. And I think that's noteworthy for them too. They've looked like the most fun team to me all season. The irony for a while is that I think the only team that was even in that stratosphere for a while was Indiana, where obviously Tyrese Halliburton got traded.
Sure.
But they were really fun too for the same reasons to start the season. And, the fact that they've held that up and actually kind of extended their lead for, a home court advantage seed or something like that only speaks to the fact that this is a really noteworthy team. It's kind of caught me off guard that more people aren't talking about them. But I think people, especially if you looked at the Kings' second half schedule, were expecting them to kind of fall off a little bit, particularly, how much they struggle on defense, particularly the schedule getting harder. Sabonis not having a whole lot of depth behind them, but they haven't. To the credit of Mike Brown, to the credit of Fox, Sabonis, everybody else, they have continued to be the most fun team in the NBA to watch. So it's been a pleasure to watch them so far.
What's made this Kings team so much fun to watch for you?
I mean, them kind of daring defenses to stop them, for starters. I mean, they are exhausting to, obviously, for defenses to stay with. De'Aaron Fox was probably someone that never lost a race as a kid, and just unfair that he can run faster with a basketball than probably most people can just straight up. So there's that. And I think it's, credit to Kings fans and I think to the front office in general that you make a trade like the one you make involving Tyrese Halliburton, which, for this year, it has been really nice for the Kings to do what they've done. But I imagine the minute that the Pacers start to win at a higher clip, and if the Kings don't, I'm sure there will be people saying we shouldn't have done that.
Sure.
And that's coming. And even talking to Monty McNair, I think he probably knows that sort of thing is coming if it happens. But the fit between Domantas Sabonis and Kevin Huerter, the fit between Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray, who I find it fascinating that Keegan Murray did not play in an offense that used handoffs at Iowa. Yet, if you look at his numbers and how he performs off handoffs, he's basically the most efficient shooter in the league, a little bit more so than Steph Curry, a little bit more than Huerter in a rookie season where he's just kind of learning the system. But these are guys flying off of Domantas' shoulder, and Domantas just hitting guys. And then when Domantas is in the paint by himself normally with a lot of real estate, daring guys to kind of try to stop him one-on-one when that's kind of what he wants. And so it's just kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Pick your poison sort of offense for this team. A lot of spacing, a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed, a lot of screens. And it's a different way to kind of accomplish some of the same stuff that the Warriors do, quite frankly. It's not lost on me that Mike Brown came from there. What is lost on me a little bit, and I think lost on him, is that he's a defense-minded coach. And I don't think anybody's really expecting the Kings to take off offensively and still struggle defensively, but that's the shape of the season for them. And it's been very interesting to watch.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, especially being in Sacramento, we're both born and raised in Sacramento. So not seeing playoffs in 16 years has been crazy. And the fact that going into this year, I think our expectations were like, all right, well, maybe play in, have a chance for a top 6. And we are here in March talking about the fact that the Kings are the number 2 seed and can they actually hang on to it? It's weird to have that type of jump in 1 year. And I think it's even more strange that the Kings were not a good offensive team last year. I think they were like 24, 25th in offensive rating. And now they've got the best offensive rating in league history. It's kind of absurd, the story with this team this year. Do you think that this team could win a playoff series?
I think they can. First of all, when you talk about how absurd it is and how weird it is, it's also very weird to have a team. And I put this question in front of Monty and also in front of Mike Brown, that it's not often that you have to ask whether a 2 seed potentially can win a series. But it's also part of the reason that you are going to hear more. I would say give it another 2 weeks as stuff starts to settle in a little bit more with the standings. You're going to hear plenty of stuff about teams wanting to target the Kings for a playoff series, because that is, generally speaking, teams that don't have experience aren't going to go that far in the playoffs. And I expect that to happen. They do not play good defense for the most part. And so playoff defenses normally tighten up. What does that look like for the Kings? No one's going to want to have to play against their offense. That part is true. I was saying a couple days ago that because I used to cover the Knicks in New York for the Wall Street Journal, I still follow a lot of fans from their fan base just to kind of stay plugged into what they're thinking, what they're saying, to know, when they're really angry about something. And watching the game Thursday night with a lot of Knicks fans on my timeline, they were like, what the hell? Like, how, why is Sabonis just killing us? Why does it look like we're running in quicksand, trying to run in quicksand? And people nationally haven't seen this team. They're not on TV enough to do that unless you have League Pass, really. So it will catch people off guard. It has caught people off guard to the extent that people have seen them when their team plays against the Kings. But it is a little bit, there is a little bit of dissonance just because I do think some of these guys are going to have to avoid the trap that sometimes comes with like being a deer in the headlights. So I thought it was a positive step for them that they played well on Thursday to an extent. They did not play very well in the second half. Mike Brown clearly was not happy that they seem to let their foot off the pedal. They've got possessions where the Knicks are grabbing 6 offensive rebounds or whatever they're doing. He was clearly upset about that. But it's hard to avoid sometimes that kind of deer in the headlights feeling when so many guys haven't been there. I know Harrison has. I know Domantas Sabonis has experienced the playoffs. I know there are other people that have, but it's still a relatively young team. Kevin Huerter, obviously, as well. But it's still a relatively young team. I understand why teams would want to gun for them, but it's also the more distance they start to put between themselves and everybody else vying for home court. I do think that some legitimacy will be there. And the reality is, when you have a record-breaking offense, it's not going to be easy for anybody to stop. And so they will be interesting to watch. And I think there probably are some matchups that could be very advantageous for them if they do make it as a 2 seed.
All right, before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on the beam. Are you like pro beam? Some people are like, oh, that's corny. I think a lot of people like it though. Do you like the beam that they fire into the sky?
Can we really harp on an organization, a
Thank
team,
you.
a fan base that hasn't won in 16 years, made
Chris
the playoffs in
gets
16 years? Like, if they didn't make, if this team wasn't going to make the playoffs, it would still give you guys something to be excited about. So I'm kind of over this like shaming of franchises, teams, particularly ones that have been kind of at the bottom of the barrel for a while. People made fun of the Timberwolves last year and Patrick Beverley and all these guys that were damn near crying when they won a play-in game. I don't mind that. Like, you don't get to talk about Kobe and these people and their authenticity on the court and how much they care on the court, and then when people care, you make fun of them for it. Even the fans that now look really like Nostradamus, the summer league fans that were talking about the 40 wins. I'm happy for them in the same way that I don't care about the teams winning and losing necessarily. I more care about the fans for the same reason that when I covered the Knicks for all those years, I was generally happy for the fans that they got to experience that after a long drought of a team just not being good. And I'm absolutely thrilled for the fans of Sacramento. They deserve it. It was part of why I wanted to go and write the story there. I wrote a book. You could probably see it here on my back shelf called Blood in the Garden about the 90s Knicks. And everybody will tell you when you have success with a book, strike while the iron is hot. And I had book editors, book publishers immediately asking me, like, what's the next book? What are you going to do next? And the Kings were one of the first ones that came to mind because they have such a similar story arc. I did not decide to do that in some ways because I want to stretch myself a little bit and not just do something that kind of falls into the exact same pattern. Maybe at another point, I would love to do that.
Chris, I was going to pitch that to you because 8 winning seasons in 39 years, about to be the 9th winning season. The first 8 of those came all under Rick Adelman. Think about all the losing and the pain and relocation. I mean, I know you're all aware of it, but it's crazy that this fan base is as rabid as they are with the lack of success. And it's just, this town's different. I know you hear that a lot about a lot of fan bases in sports. Like, oh, this different type of fan base. It really is. Like, they're insane. It's one sports town, man.
It's a pride in the fact that I think, like you said, the team was almost lost to another city. Not more than once, really. There's that aspect. It's a one professional team town. It's in the shadows of a team that has recently kind of reeled off a dynasty. I don't know if you could call it recently, since they're the defending champs. I had people telling me when I talked to them on the phone that in your own airport in Sacramento, that they, up until the Kings started to win a little bit this year, they weren't selling Kings gear. They're selling Warriors gear in the airports. There's so much, I wanted to talk specifically for the story that I wrote to fans that had just like, what is it like to take a chance and roll the dice on season tickets? And I talked to someone that I didn't ask him what he makes, but I imagine he didn't make a whole lot. He was an airport baggage handler. And he told me that he spent years trying to talk his wife into getting season tickets. They did it last season. And then last season was last season. And it's like, okay, the money wasn't there to do it. So you kind of took a chance to do it. And then when you did it, the team was so bad. And there was so much stuff going on between the talk of the record being broken for playoff droughts, the Halliburton trade, which at the moment, I get it. I think my own magazine graded the trade as a G and an H because those came after F. So I understand that fans' reactions, the media reaction was the way it was. How are fans supposed to feel? And then you watch Halliburton do what he's doing. I know Sabonis is a very good player. He fits this team to a T. So I get it. But that sort of stuff, for fans to still be engaged and to still be hungry and thirsty for that, it's why the Beam, I think, is great. And I'm really happy. I'm happy that people can be happy, genuinely. So I'm very happy for the fans. And I tweeted it and I meant it. I plan to be out there for at least a playoff game or two, preferably the first one, just because I think that the atmosphere will be something like I've never seen before.
Well, if you need any tips in Sacramento, we'll meet you at the game. We'll tell you the good coffee spots to go to. We're like, we should work for the city of Sacramento, because anytime our friends from the NBA or other writers come to town, we're like, all right, this is where you need to go. Sacramento's cool, I promise. So,
I've been there before. I was there in the previous era, the previous arena. I'd been to this arena before.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It had just been a couple of years.
Have you been around
a playoff game?
We have to
be different than a playoff game. Yeah.
Oh, and it's grown so much that there's like actually there's no. We'll show you. We'll show you the way, Chris.
I look forward to it. Seriously.
Well, Chris, seriously, nice talking to you. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks, as always, for providing amazing content for people. You do great work. So thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
I really appreciate y'all. And again, sorry for being late. Thank you.
You're fine. You're fine. Thank you so much, Chris. That's the one and only Chris Herring from Sports Illustrated. What a nice guy, too.
I know. I mean, only if he was on time, we could have talked to him longer.
He was great, dude.
Yeah,
it did not matter at all. No, we appreciate him so much. All right, coming up next, we have to hit some more Kings NFL. There's so much going on. What do we do? It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports1140.com. It's hot and it's cold.
But it has been very cold. Like
what? I mean, is this place trying to kill me? I am so confused. I'm gonna freeze to death.
Yeah, I've been freezing in here.
I'm.
A King's book would be very interesting.
A King's book would sell wonderfully. I'll tell my mom to actually write that instead of Chris. Mom, you want to make billions of dollars? Write a book about the Kings. Cash in, everyone. Cash in.
Be right back. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Oh my God. I'm unzipping my pants. Bump, banana. I've got to go pee. Bump, banana. I've really got to urinate. Where's the toilet? And if I can make it there, I can flush it anywhere. It's up to me to go pee. I hated that last word I added in that line. It's up to me to pee. Go. Oh, wait, no, I wanted it. It's up to me to pee.
I think it's good.
Chris, you're the best music producer I've ever had. So mixing up that good stuff back there. Let's go. Oh, hey, honestly, Deuce is kind of a D today, huh? What is my workday password?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wish. Oh my God. I'm just trying to take a day off. She's having mental breakdowns every second of her life. She's having mental breakdowns. She needs to lie down and take a breath. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Can we just talk about how utterly ridiculous you look right now with your hood on?
Do I? I haven't even looked yet. Oh. Wait.
Has the chat not said anything about your stupid hood?
I wasn't looking really quick. I was talking to Chris. Oh my God.
It is negative 10 Celsius in this room.
Rose, Massive crush. Oh my God. Thanks, Cameron. She looks awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You guys, it's freezing in here. Like, what are we doing?
No Joe Ingles tonight for the Bucks.
Oh.
It would be Joe Ingles.
Ingles. Oh, nice.
Let's see what
do your Joe Ingles.
Hey, I'm Joe Ingles.
No, he's like Matthew Dellavedova
that's
status.
what he's doing. He's doing Joe Ingles doing an American accent.
Oh.
Okay, that was good. That was really good.
Okay, now do your Joe Ingles being himself.
Good eye.
I don't know why that
So Giannis is still listed as questionable with right hand soreness. Joe Ingles is out with left knee injury management. They have us back to back, so they play tomorrow against Phoenix.
Okay.
They're already throwing in the white towel.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Kings just play their guys every night.
Happy birthday, Brent.
It's Deuce and Mo on your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
We're never going to punk Sean Cunningham.
What do you do now?
I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention here that Sean Cunningham had mentioned that he's not sure he would vote for Mike Brown as coach of the year.
You're such a troll.
No, I'm dead
You're
serious.
such a troll.
I'm a troll. He said it.
And he was very wrong, but like Deuce is like trying to start this narrative of Sean Cunningham for being so wrong that it's kind of comical.
I mean, we have to expose how ridiculous of a take that is.
So
I mean, he's a friend of mine.
Guessing he said this like what, November?
No,
just the other day.
Wow.
Just the other day. I mean, Joe Mazzulla, Mike
really
Brown.
expect me to, hey, there's a lot of coaches out there.
Oh, Sean joins us right now. Okay.
There's a lot of coaches out there. I don't think it could just be Mike Brown just because we're in Sacramento.
Michael Malone? Michael Malone, not Ime Udoka, Joe Mazzulla.
Hello.
I mean, come on. He is the coach of the year. And there is no
buddy.
better proof of that than what happened the other night against the Suns when the Kings bounced back. We're going to talk more about that coming up at 1. By the way, just so you guys know, ESPN update. It won't be long before a decision on Aaron Rodgers' future. Why does he do this?
No.
Why does
No. He can do what he wants. He can do whatever the hell he can go sit in a hole and do whatever. He can come out of the hole and talk about, hey, I'll have a decision soon. These people have got to do better. I mean, you are a football show. You are a football. Like, there is nothing to break down with Aaron Rodgers unless you're talking about quarterbacks left, like in certain teams still looking for, depending on what they're trying to do at quarterback position. Sure. But like, let's not talk about the individual Aaron Rodgers and his quote of won't be long until there's a decision.
I just go retire. We're done with you. You had Aaron. No, I'm done.
Don't do that either.
I'm over Aaron Rodgers. Oh, what, you want him to go to the Jets and the Jets get hyped up and then they're going to win 9 games next year?
I don't give a damn what
out.
Aaron Rodgers does, but that's why the one thing I regret from earlier in my career was always being annoyed when people would retire, unretire, say that they're going to retire, not retire, because it's up to them. And
I know,
if I was in that position, I would want to be able to like put it out there and not have a decision yet either.
Okay, sure, but he can just go away too. I just want him personally. It's
back to the hole, Rodgers.
Go back to your hole and figure it out.
Yeah.
Niners made a big move today. We're going to talk about it coming up next hour with SactownSports.com's Emil Fragosa. He wrote about it. The Niners, I don't know how they do it. It's just every year it seems like they make some sort of move. You go, that's a perfect fit. And Javon Hargrave is a perfect fit for this team. I mean, it's one, their defense is legit, but to add someone on the interior who can get after the quarterback, put pressure on the quarterback. You already have Nick Bosa. You have Eric Armstead. That's pretty damn good.
Because we are in a one sports town with the Sacramento Kings and them being so elite on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
you look at the Niners, and we already were talking about how their defense was carrying them last year, was doing so much. And then, obviously then the Brock Purdy stuff happened, and it was like, oh, okay, now they got an arm on offense, all these things, whatever. But defensively, just to add another freak of nature onto your defense to make your defense that much better, and especially too, Deuce, you know how physical this game is. Any guy goes down, I mean, knock on wood, but you're not, oh man, he's the whole defense. He's the reason why this team is doing this, this, and this. They have backup. They have so much going for them defensively that it's like, you've got to feel like, okay, this is the year.
Ooh, this is the
well,
year.
and I say
it's March 13th. All right.
Yeah, no, and when I say this is the year, I'm saying that is their mindset of like, let's go full force. This is the year. I'm not that people have got to heal up on the offensive end.
Other Niners related news: Jimmy G with Las Vegas. He signs a deal to become the Raiders quarterback, and then Mike McGlinchey headed to the Broncos. We do have some news involving the Sacramento Kings, though.
What?
Your Western Conference Player of the Week, Domantas Sabonis.
Hey, yeah.
20 points, 10.7 rebounds, 8.3 assists this week as the Kings were 3-0. He gets the Western Conference Player of the Week. In the East, Joel Embiid. Sixers were 4-0. Joel averaged 38 points, 6.8 rebounds. Sorry. 6.8 rebounds. Wow. And 2.8 blocks. But they won for 4-0. I'm sorry, the MVP of the 7-foot guy is under 7 rebounds a game?
Okay, he's doing a lot of other things. Okay. Come on, bro. Come on now.
7 rebounds.
Either way,
I could get 6.8 in an NBA game.
You could not average 6.8 in an NBA
okay, but I could try.
Yeah, no.
If
stop.
I believe that you could try to do that.
Yes.
Thank you. If I was Joel Embiid, could I do it?
No.
Yes, I could. If I was inside Joel Embiid's body.
Weird.
Oh. Yes. Pause. Okay.
Oh man, Chris got that. But seriously, when I look at those two, and I think about, and I talked to you about this, NBA, all NBA teams, and we talked about this off air, and we were like, wait, can Sabonis make an all NBA team at this point?
Oh,
and he would.
Yes.
He would, but you still have Embiid, Jokic. So you're talking about third team, all NBA squad, whatever. Sabonis, he's there. He's there, and good for him on that nice little award.
Well, let's look ahead to Kings Bucks. Let's reflect on Kings Suns. The final hour of the show is coming up next. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140, and of course at SactownSports.com. What's up, YouTube chat? We got to over 200 thumbs up. That is big. Appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us. Curtis says Sabonis for sure, third team All NBA. He's got to be low end MVP candidate. Yeah, yeah. Fox has been really good too.
I know.
Fox may have a shot at All NBA.
Oh yeah, he absolutely has.
It's tougher with guards, but
it is. But he absolutely has a shot, and that's again coming from someone who I try to step away and try not have like my biases come in, and sometimes I think that makes me some people would say that makes me pessimistic, whatever. I think I'm just realistic at times. De'Aaron Fox, what he's doing as a guard in the NBA, if he doesn't get that recognition, then yeah, screw him all.
You're the coach with the kid on the team.
I'm the
you're harder on your own kid.
Dude, 100%. If I had a child and if they suck too, they probably wouldn't even make the team, honestly.
Hey, how about you try singing?
So you guys want Fox's number since the All-Star break?
Yeah.
29 points a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. She wasn't listening at all.
Say that one more time.
Exactly. Hey, you want Fox's
I didn't
numbers?
think, you know what's funny? I didn't think he was going to be that quick to it. I thought it was going to take him a second to look up. And so I was like, yeah, I have a second. Go
29
on.
points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds on 54% shooting. It's pretty good, man.
That's pretty. I mean,
pretty good,
the
man.
efficiency
Yep.
is just absolutely fantastic.
You know, that's why they call him in the fourth quarter. They call him game over.
Is that what they call him? I like that. I thought it was Clutch King.
No.
Oh, we
changed that.
Oh, do you know our Sactown Sports app has like notifications like ESPN?
Maybe. I don't do notifications.
I don't either. I didn't think I did, but breaking, Domas Sabonis named Western Conference Player of the Week, and usually that's like my.
That's why you should go to SactownSports.com.
Yeah. Huh. Would you look at that? Huh? What was I gonna say? Chris Watkins from Chris and Co. Has guidelines for when fans should start Light the Beam chants.
Whenever they want, because guess what? The Kings.
No, false. Chris Watkins has one under 3 minutes to go. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay, screw you. 2, Kings must be winning comfortably enough that you're willing to live with the embarrassment of the game going sideways. Okay? Oh, by the way, I had this thought before I went to bed last night. This is how crazy I am. I was like, oh man, in the playoffs, I wonder how many people are going to be like other teams are going to start F the beam. And it like broke my heart a little bit, but also like, I get it.
So it's crazy. We haven't had any rules for the beam. And how many games have we had?
40.
40 wins.
40
We've had
wins.
40 wins. So there's been not one time this year the Light the Beam chant has happened and the Kings have lost a game.
Correct.
But
okay, just to be clear.
and that's
Just to be clear.
Chris's guideline. He goes, as long as you're down, if you can live with the embarrassment of the game going sideways.
We've had no rules all year. We've had no rules, and
They're
it's
not
been fine.
rules. They're guidelines.
Guidelines, rules. What's the difference?
There's
Let's be honest.
rules you can't break. Guidelines you can say it's like a yield. Like you
No,
don't always have
that's
to
not
stop.
true. That's
right?
not true. It's the same
A
thing.
yield sign, you don't have to stop. You yield.
Yes.
You slow down. Like guidelines, you slow down. Rules, you gotta stop. Is that right?
Rules you can't break. Guidelines you're supposed to follow.
Correct. Thank you, Chris. Smartest
But
one.
I disagree with him.
Oh, he goes, in the playoffs, do not do until the final score.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Should we start like a thing to try and get him fired from the station?
Do Light the Beam when you feel like I'm going to go ahead and trust Kings fans' judgment on it. Okay, I don't think any Kings fans are going to be like, hey, I know we're up 2 with 20 seconds to go. Let's fire up Light the Beam. No, like
I like these. I love Chris. His number 3 is chant
5
should
seconds.
start at a dead ball
Same
situation so it won't be interrupted. Love it, Chris Watkins.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. ESPN Adam Schefter reported today that former Niners quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo is reuniting with head coach Josh McDaniels, who he played for in New England when McDaniels was an offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. You can read more about Jimmy G's move by Emil Fergosa on SactownSports.com. He will also be a guest with Deuce and Mo in our next segment. It is 1 o'clock. Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. Now more with Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Well, the Kings are trying to do something tonight that they have not done since the 2005-2006 season.
Ooh.
And that is clinch a winning season. A win tonight would be win number 41. It would guarantee them a 500 year. I mean, they're going to get to 500. I mean, come on.
But is that a winning season?
Yeah.
Technically?
500 is a winning season.
Yeah, but it's like a draw.
No, it's not. It's a winning season. It is. It's
No,
a
it's
winning
considered
season.
a winning season.
Yeah, it is.
I
Don't
get
do
I
this
get what
500
you're
game.
saying.
Yeah, no.
But
Okay, if you want to go by that notion, then it's an F season because it's 50%. If you got 50% on the test, that's an F.
Well,
So
I mean,
there you go. What do you want to? You want to
50% of it right.
No, it's a 500 season is a winning season.
They got 50% of their wins.
They're going to go well above that, but they have a
Yeah.
chance. You're taking away from the moment of the fact that the Kings could have a winning season tonight if they beat Giannis. Question mark?
Oh,
in the Bucks tonight. Joe Ingles not playing. Some people going, oh wait, he played for the Bucks? Yeah, he's with the Bucks now after missing last season. Remember, he's with Utah, got traded to Portland, did not play, signed with the Bucks over the offseason. He is missing tonight's game. Giannis is listed as questionable for tonight with right wrist soreness or something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he plays. The Bucks also play tomorrow night against the Suns. Suns in action against the Warriors tonight. So go Warriors, right? It's weird. We got to say go Warriors. I'm a big Warriors fan tonight.
Big Warriors fan tonight, even though I would say, oh man, they probably don't have it, but they found a way to get a win against the Bucks the other night. And
dude, yeah, Steph went nuclear.
And that was late. That was late in the game. It's just what you would expect from a team like the Warriors who that was at home. So obviously they were going to play better because they have a much better home record than they do road record. But yeah, it was they came back into it. There was no Giannis playing in that one either, but I'm sure the Bucks are not happy.
Yeah. So
and they're good without Giannis.
They are still good without him. They have the league's best record in the YouTube chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140, where we stay live even during the breaks. Evil Eye Images says no, 500 is not a winning season. Okay, so just to be clear, 500 is not a winning season. So every sports network, every franchise record that acknowledges 500 being a winning season is wrong. Chris Verlod and Evil Eye Images say 500 not a winning season.
Correct.
Even though that's been accepted in sports for, I don't know, 197 years.
Time to evolve.
197 years.
There's been plenty that they've been.
So 501 win percentage, winning season.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what you're saying. 50% of your games, that's not a winning season. 50.1% winning season.
Correct.
Okay.
Because then you have more wins than losses.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, it's a funny breakdown. It's not wrong, but in sports terms,
It is a winning
season.
Yeah. It's literally that. And his point was saying that, well, that's like saying playing is playoffs. No, it's not. Because
I would say that's not the same.
That's not the same. Playing is not playoffs.
At all.
That's clearly established.
Do you want me to punch him through the chat?
If you win as many as you lose, can you say that you've won more?
It's a winning season. It's 50%.
That's deep, man. Deep.
Yeah. So everyone's wrong. 500 is a losing season. Don't finish 500.
No, it's not a losing season.
But it's not a winning season.
Yes, correct.
What is it then? What do you call it? How would you? All right. Is it a winning season?
You disintegrate as a human being.
It's an even season.
It's an even season.
Oh, I like it. Can I get an even season, please?
Even season.
We'll make it.
Mike Brown, we were talking about before the break. Oh, Coach of the Year, Sean Cunningham says he's not.
Such a D.
Oh, you really think that Mike Brown's the only coach of the league?
That's actually a good Sean Cunningham. All right, I think the victory over the Suns just shows you how Mike Brown has pushed all the right buttons this year.
Yep.
After a win, he goes in the press conference and obliterates his team to the media. You know damn well he did the same thing in the locker room, probably even more so after that win against the Knicks. So how are they going to respond? Dude, the Suns came in that game as a top 5 offensive rebounding team and a top 5 3-point team. Kings held them in check. They lost a rebounding battle by 1 overall, but had more offensive rebounds and more second chance points than the Phoenix Suns. Talking about pressing the right buttons. He goes, you know what? Kessler Edwards, get in there. Go do something. Edwards went in there and did a great job closing the game for the Sacramento Kings in that win over the Suns.
Yeah, it's cool that he found space to trust Kessler Edwards in a game like that, right? We know the Suns, really good team. I think some people want to be, but without Kevin Durant. Yeah, no. So breaking news, they're still a good team even without Kevin Durant. They're just a better team with KD on the squad. Showing that obviously in the couple games that KD did play, and they won all those games. But you look at that game Saturday night, and it was just such a fantastic response to what happened, like you said, after the Knicks game. And for players to really soak that in, take that, what Mike Brown had to say, with so much respect and like want to change things around, and then executing the changes like they did. Just what a fantastic job. Even defensively, Deuce, we talk about how we've not once had to really question this team's effort. Sometimes we question their mental effort on like a box out against Josh Hart. Like, where's your mind at? You know, you got to push through and make sure that you're focused on doing that. But that's like going deep down. But truly, with the effort of this team, even defensively, it's never that. It's just like other teams that they're playing. Their offense is obviously really good, and they don't have high level individual defenders, but they've really have gotten things together defensively as a team defense.
Yeah, and obviously there's a ways to go, but what you just said is like dead on in terms of like just pure up. They play hard. Chris Paul was talking about after they lost the other night. He's like, this Kings team plays really hard. You know what to expect. And I think they have that reputation of, yeah, they're going to obviously be able to score a lot of points. They've got shooting. They've got Fox. They got Sabonis. But they also have a team that's going to show a different level of effort. They bring it every night. I don't think like Jokic had the game against the Spurs over the weekend where you go, was he just not trying? Like, I don't think we've said that about anybody on the Kings this year.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to the guys on the team, but the coaches for keeping this team motivated. And I thought defensively against the Suns, they showed some nice flashes. I mean, Kessler's defense, dude, like I'm going, he may be playing some playoff minutes the way he was defending. He's got the size. You talked about watching him after the trade, just with his wingspan. I think it's like 6'11", 7 foot. He's strong. He came in right away and was grabbing rebounds, like going up and getting the board. And for a team that maybe has struggled sometimes with that, it was just good to see him do that and defend.
And I wonder if it's because too, he is a younger guy in this league, right? Yeah. He'll listen. He's coachable, but he's also a high IQ player they got out there. And he understands the importance of having your hands up. I mean, what it can do with not only altering a pass, altering a shot, but getting into the passing lane and getting deflection, getting a steal, just on his toes, moving laterally. And like you said, getting those rebounds. You look at his stat line from Saturday's game and you go, oh yeah, this guy is finding a way in the rotation. And give a little love too. I just really quick to Chimezie Metu, who had a bigger game, got some steals in that game. And it's what you want to see from him, especially after we know what type of minutes he's going to get. And if he's not efficient in those minutes, we just go, why is he even playing? So when he has those moments, you're just like, okay, I get it. I get what they see in him. They still want to believe in him. They trust him, which I just always think is a really cool thing that Mike Brown and his coaching staff does.
The bench was awesome last game. The bench was really, really good, from Malik Monk to Trey Lyles to Metu to Kessler Edwards. Like, everyone had their moments last game.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was huge for Sacramento, especially when Fox and Sabonis don't score 20. Kevin Huerter plays like, 19 minutes, has 9 points. Keegan played like 15, did not score. Are you concerned at all about Keegan, by the way? Or is it just like, hey, he's a rookie, Mike Brown's hard on him, he's just got to fight through it?
Yeah, I think obviously Mike Brown is hard on him and everyone else, but he's got to fight through it. And I hope seeing someone like Kessler Edwards out there get the minutes and then being productive in his minutes just lights a little fire under his tush. And I think that's healthy competition when you have that with your teammates and you're trying to be like, oh no, I've got to take the next step in my game, so I'm getting those minutes. And I think Keegan Murray has that ability. I think he has that mindset. We've seen him all year long. It doesn't matter if he has a bad game. His confidence never wavers, right? Like, he still is like, okay, I know I need to do this better next game, or someone's going to empower him, and he will.
Yeah, and I think Mike is and you've seen this, outside Fox and Sabonis, if you don't have it, we're going to try to find a group that does, and we'll stick with that group.
Right.
And that's hard for some players to adjust to. I mean, Kevin Huerter, everyone talking about Keegan Murray. Kevin Huerter played like 19 minutes last game. He just had a monster game the other night. the guy doesn't play a lot down the stretch. Brown went with a different type of lineup. He's going with Kessler Edwards late in the game. That could be hard to adjust to.
Yeah.
But I also think this team is pretty accepting and understanding. Like, no, we want to win, right? Are we all in this together? We want to win.
That's it, Deuce.
Kevin, you're going to be in the starting lineup again. You might have a chance to play 30 minutes, but if not, we're going to try to find the group that's going to get us a win today.
And it doesn't seem like they get upset, and that's what I love.
All right, coming up next, the Niners make a huge move today. We'll talk about NFL free agency, a busy day. Emil Fregosa from SactownSports.com joins us to talk about those Niners moves. It's straight ahead on Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Put him here. Chris, I'm going to keep him in the one shot. Okay, 2 shot. You got it. Hey. I guess you are going to be right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us during this big news.
Of course. No, there's so much to break down. So much to break down.
That's why we got you, the specialist, to break it down.
Things just keep happening, too. So who knows? The news might break down in 2 seconds.
Here, let me do the other one.
Mo, are you cold in here?
Oh.
Are you always a cold person?
I am.
Okay.
I am, but this is. Oh, God, you're wearing a t-shirt?
Oh, I'm just.
What are you? You freak?
Just. Deuce is wearing a t-shirt. What do you mean?
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, he was in a jacket. Yeah. Wait, and actually, we're going to have you scoot closer to the pole. Sorry. This just makes it a little easier so it Deuce's head. Hi. And Deuce won't be right there, Chris. So
yeah,
that looked pretty good to you.
Yeah,
cool. And by the way, your computer screen is on. That can, if that makes you feel better, just so I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if you care or not, but
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
Deuce Mason, Morgan, Reagan, we are live on a busy day with the Kings getting ready to host the Milwaukee Bucks and do something they haven't done in a long time, and that's win 41 games. I won't call it a winning season. I don't want to upset anyone.
Oh,
they have a chance at 41 games.
Baby.
But it's also been busy because it's NFL free agency. The legal tampering period's begun, and insane today. Insane. We still don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going yet, but who cares about that?
So
petty.
petty.
Insane from the standpoint that the 49ers make a splash on day one of free agency. Javon Hargrave, grave digger, has agreed to a deal with the San Francisco 49ers. And to talk more about it, a guy who covers the 49ers. He's at practices. He's at games. He's constantly doing write-ups on SactownSports.com about it. You can read his work there. Emil Fregosa with us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Dude,
so good.
Insane. Did you expect that the Niners would be, I don't know, one of the big headlines today?
No. And that's kind of based off the cap space they have going into this. They had about $8 million going into it. And even after the re-signings they did with Colton McKivitz last week, with Deshaun Gibson yesterday, they had about $4 or $5 million, we thought, in cap space. So to make a splash like this, frankly, caught me by surprise. And the rest of, I don't know if you've seen Twitter, the rest of NFL Niner media by shock.
Yeah.
And that's really rare for guys like Matt Mayoka to be shocked.
That's it. That's the one. That's the main one I saw, and I was like, "Wait, Matt's even super excited and shocked by it." And Deuce and I, we're not cap experts at all when it comes to the NFL, and that's why we were wondering when you see such a big deal as well. I mean, what does this mean for the Niners' future in signing some other key pieces
this offseason, or just in general?
Okay. I'm talking like. Let's just say in general, because I even think about
Bosa deal
that's what I was just about to
up.
say. Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk.
There's going to be a lot of restructuring, and unfortunately, there will be some top-heavy guys that could have to potentially go after this season. Ayuk has been one rumored. We don't know for sure. There's always speculation, but Armstead will be the one probably getting restructured either this season or after this season. And if he doesn't agree to the restructure, who knows? He could be gone next year. You never know.
Well, let's talk about who they did get done. Javon Hargrave, who is here now. He signs a 4-year, $84 million deal with $40 million guaranteed. Of course, he's with the Eagles last year, had a big time impact getting after the quarterback with pressures and sacks. So why do you think this is a good move for the San Francisco 49ers?
This is the number 3 rated free agent this year in the class, according to CBS. And for the Niners to get a top 5 player, especially after what we just saw Daron Payne get yesterday from I believe it was the Commanders, it's astonishing, frankly, that they can even afford this kind of contract, that even afford to go out and get. This is the team you lost in the NFC Championship.
Yes.
And what was the biggest issue? The defensive line, the interior. You got beat by the offensive line up, ways, and down. That's why Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell ran all over you. And now you go get their biggest guy. That's a statement.
We kind of make jokes about like, hey, who needs an offense or an arm when you got a defense? But truly, are the Niners trying to be like, hey, let's capitalize on what we have going on. We need to get there, win big this. And I know that's got to be their mindset every year, but that there's been health, there's been losses, there's been so many other things that it's been like a surprise season. I feel like they're going in the direction where they're trying to do it on purpose now.
They're trying to win. I saw the funniest thing on Twitter from some Niners non-credentialed media. Obviously Niners Twitter is everywhere. Kyle Shanahan is tired of being a bridesmaid. He's ready to go down the aisle. He's ready to walk the aisle and get that ring. That's the whole point of what Kyle's trying to do. And this move clearly says we have a short window to do this, especially with the contract control we have over these young quarterbacks and Purdy as well as Trey Lance. This is clear. They're going to try and ride out those guys, maybe bring in a veteran to facilitate. Who knows? But they want to win and try and work on the woes of the quarterback by outweighing it with just strength everywhere.
What does this move do for Bosa and Armstead?
Armstead's the tricky one. Bosa, he's going to get his money. There's no doubt.
I'm just talking about on the field, just the impact of them being. I mean, it has to make their lives easier. I mean, and it's crazy because Bosa had 18.5 sacks last year. He gets after it, but I mean, it's going to be really tough for teams going up against this front.
Bosa might break the record this year.
Yeah,
because he gets held or double teamed on every single play, and now you can't do that with Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw, Drake Jackson probably making a leap, and Nick Bosa on that edge. Good luck to you guys. Good luck to NFL offensive lines trying to stop this, especially in the NFC West, where they have shaky ones at best.
I know there was so much talk about, hey, what if Jimmy G does come back this time around? I know you swatted that down pretty early, saying he's not coming back to San Francisco. He has agreed to a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. What was your reaction to Jimmy G headed to Las Vegas?
Honest one, I can't say on air, but the actual one I will say is it's probably a solid lateral move for the Raiders. I'm not a fan of it personally as a diehard Raider fan. I feel like it's a very kind of a step down move from Derek Carr. I don't really see how it makes them better.
It is.
It's obviously the Josh McDaniels Patriots connection, and I get that.
Yeah.
But what has Jimmy D honestly done lately? And I don't mean to discredit his accomplishment with the Niners. I don't want to do that. He was a fine citizen. But the guy is always hurt, and he cannot move around that pocket. And the issue with the Raiders is that they have to get a quarterback that can do just more than game manage.
No, Emil, I'm one that has always been really hard on Jimmy Garoppolo as a quarterback, because I just think it's frustrating when you have so many fantastic weapons around you, but he can't utilize his arm. Oh, and he couldn't utilize his legs, and mostly because of coming off of the surgery, the knee. Understandable. Like, this happens to guys, but that's why it was getting so frustrating. It's like the Niners are right there, but then they don't have this piece. So now the Raiders have that piece. Who's throwing downfield? They're not throwing downfield.
No.
They have a game manager out there. What does that mean for the Raiders and their offense? Is it going to produce anything that you think that maybe fans will be excited about?
It means Josh Jacobs is the bell cow once again, and they're going to rely on Josh Jacobs to be the leading rusher once again. Jimmy G is going to try and facilitate, not be the winner. That's not who he is.
Yeah.
He's not that. If you need Jimmy to go win you games, that's not who he is. He's great at keeping you ahead. He's not great at coming back and winning you games. So Josh Jacobs is going to be the focal point of this offense, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to kind of be a game manager, which he's used to. And McDaniels has gotten the best out of him in the past, obviously with the Patriots, but that was a long time ago.
Man, it's just wild to see the movement already, and that we're still waiting on what Aaron Rodgers is going to decide to do. The Rams have kind of looked like they're blowing things up and trying. The Rams went all in for a Super Bowl. They went all in. They got a Super Bowl, but now it's like, okay, what now? Jalen Ramsey's been traded, and is it worth it to get that one ring? I'd rather have sustained success, but they went let's get rid of all these draft picks. Let's try to win a Super Bowl. They did it. Now what?
To be fair, though, the Niners are kind of putting themselves in cap hell, if you want to say, similar how the Rams did, loading them everywhere else and all around just to win that one ring. So if the goal is winning a ring, the Rams did it, and that's all they really matter to them.
But the Niners have had some sustained success here, right?
A lot of heartbreak, though, and that's sustained success.
Heartbreak and a lot of not flukiness, but a lot of luck that kind of played the part as well. And if we want to kind of luck, or you want to call it like Kyle Shanahan, the quarterback whisperer, and it's like even with the product that he had at quarterback. But no, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I would rather have the sustainability, and I feel like for the most part, the Niners have been surprisingly fun to watch over the seasons, where the Rams now, you're in this beautiful stadium, and what does your team look like now going into this season?
Decimated. just decimated. They're not going to be able to keep Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay wants him. Tampa Bay's going to try and steal Baker Mayfield away. So what's the Rams?
Maybe the Niners should go get Baker, huh?
No,
just in case.
No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, why? And
he would cost too much money, though.
Okay.
Like I've said this previously, it's going to be a veteran quarterback, a guy over the hill, most likely going to come and be the third guy.
Matt Ryan.
I've been saying it. Matt Ryan.
To Shanahan.
Get your money and get out of Indianapolis. Come over here.
Does that excite you for the Niners?
Yes.
No. It excites you? Matt Ryan cannot excite you.
Okay, excitement in terms of is he going to start and win games? No. Excitement in terms of there's going to be a grown-up in that locker room? Okay. Yes. The Niners need a grown-up in the quarterback locker room.
All right, and then as Brock Purdy, I guess it's not even going to be Brock Purdy. It's probably going to be Trey Lance.
Correct.
And so then, what? Then you just have his veteran presence behind him or starting?
He's not starting. He's a player coach, basically.
Got it.
He's in the back half of his career. He
Bill
gets to make
Russell,
a little bit of money.
stuff. Great.
Exactly. The Niners just need a grown-up to help nurture these young guys. They got a lot of young guys in this roster, and they need to see more leadership, more accountability in there. Trey Lance, if you can't learn from Matt Ryan, you can't learn from a lot of people. Matt Ryan is a former NFL MVP. I said it out loud. And who was he under NFL MVP under? Kyle Shanahan.
Who was he? Who was Matt Ryan under when
I knew this was going to come
Super
up.
Bowl lead?
I knew this was going to come up.
I'm just kidding.
Kyle
It's
Shanahan.
going to be interesting to follow. Make sure to follow everything at SactownSports.com. You're going to be all over it. I mean, you've been posting combine stuff. You got Niner stuff. It's free agency. If you want great content, head on over to SactownSports.com. Neil for Ghost. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
Coming up next, Kings and Bucks tonight. Plus, an NBA pundit just apologized to the Sacramento Kings. We'll talk about coming up next. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Dude, thanks, dude. Yeah.
Truly. Appreciate you, man.
It's like perfect, awesome. Like, love that we can get our 49ers fixed.
I'm always here.
No, that's
You're we thought about you. We're like, let's get him on.
It was like first thing. We're like,
I can't not be here this
great.
week.
Thank you.
Let's see his apology. It's 27 minutes, so.
One of the best stories in the NBA. I'm super hyped about this team, man. I cannot wait for playoff games in Sacramento. I have a question for you about the Kings. Is this a team that can make and potentially win the finals? Make and win the finals. It's interesting. Let me start by saying this. Jason knows how I feel about this. I want to look in the camera. I want to be very honest. We spoke earlier this season about accountability. And I just want to be accountable for some things that I said at the trade deadline last year. Now, in the context of the trade deadline, I didn't like the trade. I should not have used the word malpractice, and I apologize for that.
Chris, can we get the beginning of this, by the way?
I apologize for that to Monty McNair. This trade has turned into a win-win. Now, team struggled last year. I think they were 5-9 or 5-10 with Sabonis was after post-trade. What they did this offseason, they bring in Mike Brown. They add a ton of shooting. Kevin Huerter. They add Malik Monk. They draft Keegan Murray. They put the ball exclusively in De'Aaron Fox's hands. They use Sabonis as a hub. This offense, number one offense in the league, historical offense. It is so fun to watch. And so much of that has been the offseason. But I was wrong. And I'll acknowledge that.
Like the first minute or so of it.
I love watching this team play. Mention the shooting. This has been a big thing. So Murray is at about 41%. Huerter is at about 40%. Both of those guys on fairly high volume. Malik Monk hasn't shot great this season, but he's up to 35%. Harrison Barnes has been solid, just under 37%. And then even, I was looking at I want to get in their lineup data. Even at their bench guys, Trey Lyles, Terrence Davis, right around 37%. They're 37% overall as a team. They take 36 threes a game, which is, not in the top 5, but they take a lot of threes. This is a modern offense. And when you have a guy as dynamic with the basketball as De'Aaron Fox and you have spacing, this is what you get. Like, this is a really, really good basketball team. To answer your questions about whether or not they can win the finals, I'm not willing to go there yet. Partially, it's the defense for me. Number 25 defensively. They remind me in some ways of the Nuggets, if that makes sense, just because the Nuggets.
I just realized I'm not even talking to the YouTube chat because I was just listening to JJ Redick. I'm sorry, guys.
Same.
Were you guys listening to it too? Sorry, I'm just over here like. And we'll play some of it coming up next. Hey Gilbert, sorry. Let's see here. Dang, you making me want to click over to see the apology. Dude, it's like 27 minutes long. I don't know if he actually does it the whole 27 minutes, but
he should. He owes us that.
Credit to him for actually like owning up to it. He said, I shouldn't have said malpractice, and he's right. JJ Redick.
Oh, who's a big JJ Redick fan?
Who?
Sean Cunningham.
Yeah, but
He also doesn't think Mike Brown should be coach of the year, so I don't know if I trust his judgment.
Ooh, and Roger says JJ knows he has to kiss up before getting booed at a Kings playoff game. Dude, you can't hate on JJ, man. Out of all the basketball pundits who can be so obnoxious, I actually like JJ. I think more times than not, he's not
a hot take guy.
He's not even, but like that was like his peak where you're going, why were you such a hot take guy in that moment? But I think he truly believed it at that time.
I think he believed that, and I think he had built a relationship with Tyrese Halliburton, and those biases came into play, and that's okay because he's holding himself accountable today. Well, I mean, even I'm sure he's felt this way for a little bit.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA has named Domantas Sabonis a Western Conference Player of the Week. Sabonis averaged 20 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists in the Kings' undefeated week. Sabonis becomes the fourth player in Sacramento era with multiple Western Conference Player of the Week awards in a single season. He joins De'Aaron Fox, DeMarcus Cousins, and Chris Webber. Sacramento Kings won their 40th game of the season on Saturday, beating the Phoenix Suns 128-119. Kings are back in action tonight when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. As of right now, star Giannis Sabonis is listed as questionable, but he told Mark Spears of Anscape on Saturday that he hopes to play Monday. Coverage of the game starts with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. It is 1:30, time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. And now more with Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan, the NBA world is focusing on Sacramento. Kings are getting too much love today, honestly. It's almost like, I didn't get a lot of love all the time as a kid, especially from my parents.
Oh, yeah. No, oh, God, you poor thing. It explains a lot about you.
Yeah. So now the Kings are starting to get showered with love. And, I know we all like, hey, give the Kings some respect. Now it's like it's too much today. It's too much. You got Bill Simmons. You got Russillo. Could they come out of the West? You got Kendrick Perkins saying they're going to the Western Conference Finals. And then that's not all. Just moments ago, JJ Redick, who called the Kings trade of Tyrese Halliburton malpractice, just put out a new pod I don't know if he talks about the Kings the entire time, but the duration says 27 minutes. He apologized to Kings fans. Do we have a portion of the clip, Chris?
The Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
One of the best stories in the NBA. I'm super hyped about this team, man. I cannot wait for playoff games in Sacramento.
I have a question for you about the Kings. Is this a team that can make and potentially win the finals?
Make and win the finals. It's interesting. Let me start by saying this. Jason knows how I feel about this. I want to look in the camera. I want to be very honest. We spoke earlier this season about accountability, and I just want to be accountable for some things that I said at the trade deadline last year. Now, in the context of the trade deadline, I didn't like the trade. I should not have used the word malpractice, and I apologize for that. I apologize for that to the Sacramento Kings fan base. I apologize for that to Monty McNair. This trade has turned into a win-win. Now, the team struggled last year. I think they were 5-9 or 5-10 with Sabonis once after post-trade. What they did this offseason, they bring in Mike Brown.
My favorite.
And there was
And
an
of course,
ad.
it just goes to an ad.
You could check it out on JJ's YouTube page, but apologizes for what he had to say about the Kings and says he's excited to see this team in the playoffs, that they're a good team, that they're fun to watch, one of the more fun teams to watch in the NBA. His co-host asked him, well, do you think that they could win a championship? He said, I'm not ready to go there yet because of the defense, which that's fine. Who cares about that? What do you think about JJ coming out and apologizing?
I love it. I love it because when you are so strong with a narrative and you have a large platform, you have a responsibility not to be right, but to be fair. And there were so many people with a large platform that just weren't fair about it.
They were punching down.
They were, dude. And I'm fine with people over the years crapping on Sacramento when they were bad and they were punching down and everything because there was drama. It was all ugly. Things were bad. I understood it, but it was also like, okay, we know things are bad. Thanks for like rubbing it in our faces. How about you just break it down instead and to push out like what the Kings need to do better as an organization. And now you're seeing there's no drama. There's winning basketball around and everyone wants to be a part of it now. And the people like JJ Redick, you're allowed to join and come on now because if you have what it takes to accept accountability and apologize because you actually respect the game of basketball, you're allowed.
Yeah, because he took such a radical take today. Actually, Kings Next Level on Twitter hit me up today and put a clip of our podcast out of when he called into our podcast on Night Chat and said the Kings could win a championship. And he said, they thought I was crazy for this Kings take at the beginning of the season, crying emoji. I'm like, hey, everyone thinks you're crazy about with that take. And by the way, I still don't think they're going to win a championship, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I hope I'm wrong.
Me
and
too.
I'm just here to enjoy the ride.
Hi, I, in the beginning of the season, not only said that the Kings, I said, we're not going to make the playoffs this season. I was like, no. I've had people within the organization ask me, are you a believer yet? And this was still in the beginning of the season when they were looking good. And I was like, no, like the Western, people are going to figure it out in the Western Conference. Like there's no way this team is too new. I was very wrong. I am so damn glad I was wrong because this is how it should be when you have a team this special, playing this special of basketball, and they should be achieving these type of things, and it's not fake. That's the other thing, and that's the other reason why you have so many national people coming out, because they all know it's not fake either. It's not fluky, depending on what other team's health is and everything.
I think JJ
And you're going
does
to
a
get
great
this
job.
work in the postseason.
Yeah, I think JJ is one of the best.
I
in the
agree.
business as a basketball
I agree.
analyst. When he did that, I'm like, come on. So, I think Kings fans have been kind of waiting, like, hey, are you going to give the Kings some love? He's given the Kings some love in his podcast, I don't know, about a month ago or something, but this was the first time he's like, you know what? I apologize. And so it's cool. I think it's cool. I like JJ Redick. I do. And so it's good to acknowledge it. Not just there are a lot of people in this business in general that will stick by their takes no matter what.
Yeah.
And I've never understood that in our culture where it's just like,
oh, Deuce, I understand it.
It's okay to be wrong.
Do you want me to tell you the truth? And I'm just being honest. Let's just be real right now. It's a male dominated business, right? Sports talk, all of that. there's so many men out there that are so insecure. And there's women out there too, guys, but I'm just talking about one thing right now. There's a lot of men that are in sports talk that are so insecure. So when they're wrong about something, they can't admit that they're wrong, because if they're wrong, that means someone's going to question their knowledge and what they know and all these other things. And it's no, sports is ever changing. It's always evolving, and things can happen like this in a season. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to admit when you're wrong.
Have you been wrong before, Deuce?
Never. No.
You know, it's almost crazy how right I've been.
Insane.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, yes.
I mean, here's where I was wrong. I said, I think the Kings could win 45 games. I'm going to be right about that because they're going to win more than that. But I did say that. I think I also said, you know, man, the West is going to be wild this year. Look up and down. If you look between 3 and 10, there's not a lot of difference between those teams. What
persona?
do you know? It's a reason why they call me the basketball mind.
Just
I
threw
know
up in
what
my
I'm
mouth.
talking about. So when I talk about basketball, everyone stop what you're doing. Pull over the cars. Get focused and lock in, because you are listening to the person, the one person who knows what he's talking about when it comes to the National Basketball Association. So fire away. You got questions, Morgan? Go ahead. You have a question for me?
Yeah, question. Do you believe in I don't know, what vision boards coming to life?
In vision? The vision board is in my head because I could tell you what I see, and what I saw was the West being really tight this year. And what do you know?
What do you know?
Deuce Adamas told you.
Oh,
and look
God.
at where
This
we're
is
at.
So this is like, honestly, I've thrown up like 3 times in my mouth. Like disgusting.
That's gotta
Thank you, Daddy Deuce. Ugh.
Thank you. Thank you. I do want to get Kings fans' perspective too. If you want to hit us up in the chat, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 and 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. How are you feeling about this attention the Kings are getting now? Like, do you like it? Does it make you more amped up for the season? Or are you like, okay, this is a little too much now. I don't want all this. You can let us know. Give us a call, 916-339-1140, or pop in that YouTube feed. We're always live on the YouTube feed, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. Josue, love the basketball mind shtick. Why is it shtick, huh? Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Take your time.
Yes, I am okay. Just trying to get people on the pod trying to. What? What'd you say? What did he? I don't even know what he said.
Looking
Got
out
producers texting
on the
me.
tinkle time I used to have to pee. 'Cause you make me pee. 'Cause you make me pee. 'Cause you make me pee like a natural.
Hey, Deuce. Do people, like adult humans that are capable of using their arms and legs, have people like wash them and like, I just need someone to like shower me and like do my hair and make.
Yeah, it's when you get very old and you can't take care of yourself anymore.
Okay, well, I need, like, I have to rush out of here and get super ready, which usually takes me like 2.5 hours, and I have to take off an hour. And I'm just like a little nerves right now. I know nobody cares, and I'm sorry for even talking about it.
At least you don't have to drive to San Francisco.
I wouldn't be here. I would not be in studio if I had to drive to San Francisco. I'm just going to say this. Make sure you find balance in your life, everyone, because it's just your mental health matters. It matters. It matters. You matter. You matter. I'm okay. Is she okay? Is she okay? Okay. Anyway, let me get back to the chat. What up, party people? I always feel like somebody's watching pee. Gotta go potty now. Just sing about pee. Why? What's your name? Chris. I did not realize we were so zoomed in. I hadn't looked at the video. Oh my God. People are like, what is wrong with her? She okay? Yeah, Eric, we always need a Mo's Minute, man.
This is a funny meme this person put out. Loving the discourse right now. And it's a freeway with straight. It says Celtics, Sixers, Warriors, Lakers, MVP talk, and then veer right with this car veering right. Kings going to the West Finals. NBA media this week.
It's so true. You're just seeing everybody write about it and everything. And you know what? And that's the thing, Deuce. I don't want to become petty and be like, oh, now you're writing about it. Because it's like we complained for so many years not having national media notice. It is just frustrating that it takes the Lakers can be bad, but because you have LeBron on there, there's always going to be a story.
You think they're trying to build us up so they can tear us down in a couple of weeks? Is that
Why
what you're
do
thinking?
you build me up? Build me up. NBA media to take me down. Because first of all, you never write about us when you say you will. But I need you still. I need you for some content, oh baby.
You've got another performance potentially tonight if the Kings
Deuce
win.
is so excited about this because Deuce wrote this song.
I wrote a song for Morgan today.
And I was like, oh, I could probably sing that.
It's Deuce and Mo
on Sactown Sports.
Ready?
Yeah.
40 wins. You like that?
That's it?
Well, I don't have any more.
We want it. You need it. We got 10 more because we're getting 50.
Yay!
Conference finals.
Yes! Good job, team.
Song.
I'm proud.
Hey, it's Deuce Mason, Morgan Ray, and Christopher Laud on the vocals today on Sactown Sports. Coming up at 2, you got Cattles and Rami. They'll be talking a ton about the Sacramento Kings and Bucks, and of course, NFL free agency today. The Niners making noise. Jimmy G headed to the Raiders. We're just talking before the break about this love that the Kings media, that the NBA media is giving the Kings right now. And we're all kind of like caught off guard, like, wait. They're not talking about MVP or Lakers. Today, it's been heavy Kings all over the place. From the Ringer putting out the Simmons Rusilla podcast, discussing could the Kings make it out of the West. Kendrick Perkins today on First Take saying, Western Conference Finals Kings? What? And then JJ Redick, who bashed the Kings over the Halliburton-Sabonis trade, just put out a long apology on his YouTube page about it. And I'm asking, how are we feeling about all this love now? Are you accepting of it? Or are you like, oh, now what? Late to the party. Does it make you feel weird? How are you guys feeling out there?
Well, what I feel like, at first it's kind of annoying because you're like, oh, now everybody wants to talk about us. But really, it's, hey, how many years did we complain about the national media not talking about the Kings? And for good reason at times, but there's other crappy teams in the league that were just bigger markets that they would talk about anyway, and they'd only talk about the Kings if it was in a bad light. So now the Kings not only have a product and a good storyline, but can I be honest? I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that more people jumped on board earlier in the season when it was like their style of basketball was so fun to watch over so many teams that people should have jumped on then. But I think so many people just thought, hey, it's fluky. I'm not even going to watch them. It's happening right now. That's a cute little story.
And now they're like, oh my God, there's not many games played. They're still number 2. I guess we should start watching Sacramento. And this also, we mentioned all those names just a minute ago. Zach Lowe last week was like, I think there is a path. I want to bet on it that the Kings can make it to the Western Conference Finals. Let's go to the phones. 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. What's going up? What's going on? What's his name?
He said Ung.
Is it Ung? Hello.
Your boy Bung.
Oh, Bung.
Oh, Bung, dude. I've not heard from Bung in a minute. Bung, what is up, dude?
It has been a long time. I haven't called in the radio show yet, but I'm listening to you guys. I've been working a lot. I'm calling for the road.
Okay.
But with 40 wins, I had to call in, dude. I drove down to the arena afterwards after that game just to sit under the beam because it was just so special. Like, I can't believe
Bung, did I hear you? Did I hear you on the cowbell talk on the Twitter Spaces after the game?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my.
Interesting. Yeah, he stopped calling the night chats. That's
Ooh,
cool.
ooh, no, but really quick, Bung, listening to you talk about you driving to the arena just to sit under the beam, to look up at the beam, you got almost emotional at talking about how cool this was for the Kings.
I was about to cry. It was hard to hold it together. I had to finish my little speech and get off because I was getting like in my feels. I remember you talking about it too, even months ago. Like, why does this team make me so emotional? But it does.
So how did it feel to sit under the beam and bask in the glow of that bright purple laser on a Saturday night?
It more than I can really put into words because like Sacramento basketball is like so important to me and like it's very sentimental for like me and my family and stuff and like makes me think of times when I was a kid and all that. So this all coming full circle because like for so many years, like growing up in Sacramento and stuff, you kind of get this defeatist attitude and like I'm in my mid-20s, like it's been a long time since I remember good basketball and it kind of felt like it was never going to happen. So the fact that it's happening, like I can't believe it. I really can't.
I know. I get it. I connect. I think when I say I connect, I think as a Kings community, we all connect with that on such a different level. And to be able to experience this together is awesome. But here's a question for you, Bung. We were just talking about NBA media now kind of hopping on board and wanting to talk about the Kings all the time. Are you down with it? Or are you like, hey, why are you talking about us now?
Maybe if they beg. There's definitely some apologies that are needed. It depends on how you do it. If you come in, you go, look, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize. And now I get it. I'm all cool with it but I don't want people pretending like they were around the whole time. We know who they were. We heard what they said. But I'd love to have people show up in Sacramento and see what it's really like here and see our beautiful new arena and like how much the fans love it. So the attention does make me a little nervous because I don't want people then getting overhyped and they go, oh, a 2 seed, and if things don't go, I don't want to deal with all that. But I do love the fact that the national media has to show up here to Sacramento and go, hey, this place is actually pretty cool, isn't it?
How's your dating life going? We haven't had an update on that.
You could not let that go, could you?
I care about you, Bung, and you don't call anymore. So it's just like, it's weird. I thought we had a deeper connection, but.
No, we totally do. And here's the thing, though. I've been working 2 jobs. I just can't stay up late enough to call into night chat anymore. It's unfortunate. So, no, I mean, you remember back in the day with the Jersey Mike's girl? No, I didn't like that you waited until after the call to say it, but you were not wrong. It did not work out.
Shocker! What did I tell you?
Oh, I'm sorry about that one. So where are you at now?
Things have not been better.
Bung, I know the answer. You just got to hang around the beam. Love happens under the beam, and you're going to find the love of your life under that beam at Golden One Center.
And then maybe don't go by Bung anymore. Maybe there's something else,
Well, I was honestly thinking about it, calling it a terrestrial radio. I was like, maybe I should use my real name, but you guys don't know me by my real name, so I felt like I had to.
You're King Bung to me.
Hey, I love it.
What is your real name?
Chris.
My name is Jared.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, I would stick with Bung.
Yeah, Bung Jared's kind of lame.
Wow!
Okay.
Wow!
All right, hey, dude. Good hearing from you. Good luck. You better let us know when you find the love
under the beam.
Hey, playoffs time. Things get magical.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you so much, man. Good to hear from Bung.
Under the beam. Under the beam.
Yeah, how's it?
I don't know.
You have to do the thing where you can't just start and then stop.
Well, because in my mind, my mind wanted to go to a love story rather than to basketball, but you can combine the two.
Yeah.
It just takes a moment for the brain to click, click, click.
Under the beam.
Under the beam. Under the beam. Where things are shining, you find the lighting under the beam.
That's better. See, she's
where
really
you want
good.
to find love, a love, a love. After watching some basketball, There's nothing better. Kings are winning under the beam.
There you go. Was it that hard?
Yes. Did I sound like Sebastian?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm still working
I
on
don't know
my.
if that's appropriate or not, too. By
Chris,
the way.
I'm trying to do a King song based around Chandelier, but the Moulin Rouge version of Chandelier.
The most difficult song in the world.
Wait, that's
It's by Sia. But
I know the song.
Yeah. And he's
But how is the Moulin Rouge version different than the?
To be honest,
deeper.
No, better.
Okay, well, it's she's
better.
like chandelier, and he's like chandelier. I want to buy. This is his song. I cannot do it.
1, 2, 3, light the beam. 1, 2, 3, light the beam. See, Chris likes it.
Oh no, he's gonna love the song you wrote for me. I think that'll be his jam.
Yeah. Next one.
Next win.
You will hear.
I am a fantasy. Is that why you like went hardcore over why 500 is a winning season?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just think 500 is literally everyone considers it a winning season.
Rami behind me says it's not a winning season.
Real Rami, wait, I'm so shocked because that's what sports people say for our whole life. Look at him shaking his head. Ugh.
Just to be clear, Rami's a Bears fan, right?
Yeah.
What's he know about a winning season? What does he know? If the Bears back in the day went 8-8, he'd be like, yeah, we had a winning season.
So stupid.
That's a winning season. And when is 500 not a winning season? Am I wrong?
Oh, thank you, Rami.
I grew up with the 90s Bulls and was in Milwaukee for a Bucks championship. Well, I'll just leave the rest out.
God, you son of a...
when they have winning to back it up.
Damn it.
Oh, I hate that man.
Coming up next, it is Cattles and Rami. They're going to be on up until tonight. We got Kings basketball, Kings and Bucks. Will the beam be lit tonight? Giannis is questionable for tonight's game.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I think without Giannis, I give them a shot. With Giannis, it's going to be challenging.
I'm going to go and just do what Kenny Thomas would do and just say Kings win.
So Sacramento, do Cool Hand a favor and
light
the
beam. All right, don't go anywhere. We have Cattles and Rami coming up next. Everything Kings and NFL free agency, including the move that the Niners made today. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
See ya.